Monday, starting a whole new week of the MJ Morning Show. MJ and the crew here, 6:01. And, of course, our thoughts and our actions are with the people down in Southwest Florida. Folks, that's 2 hours south of us. That is a 2-hour drive. And, of course, some really bad effects of Hurricane Ian were felt just over an hour's drive from us as far as some of the really bad flooding. And that's, again, south, but then just an hour to the east in the Orlando area, you also have a lot of flooding and a lot of damage. Certainly the costliest natural disaster this state is ever going to face. And we still have another couple of months of hurricane season, really. Hurricane season doesn't end technically until the end of November. Got a couple of systems coming off of Africa. You got a couple of areas of interest, and, the potential for development is there. So just because that happened in the Fort Myers, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda area, that doesn't mean that that's it. I mean, we still have a hurricane season to go. Yeah, Fester.
Isn't October the busiest month? Did I hear that over the last couple of weeks with all this hurricane talk?
No, September, October.
The busiest time, the statistical peak of hurricane season is September 10th, September 11th.
Okay.
That is the statistical peak is September 10th, September 11th. Right in that zone there is the actual peak. Now, in Florida here, along the Gulf Coast at least, typically it is September and October, which are traditionally busiest potentially for us. And what always gets my attention, at least here in the Tampa Bay area, for me historically, being here since 1994, being in Florida since 92, I'm always concerned about mid to late September into October here in the Tampa Bay area. So,
okay.
Hey, death toll, the numbers that you see are all over the road, but the latest that I saw last night was 83. I don't know if that's gone up any further, but there are different numbers, different sources. But the death toll, at least according to Reuters, climbed to 83 as of late yesterday. So just horrific. You look at the damage. We've got a couple of A-B comparisons. There's a Twitter post, which we'll put up a little later on. I'll let you know what it is, where it is, and when we put it up. But there's a Twitter post that just shows some aerial shots of Fort Myers Beach, and the Twitter post does an automatic wipe between before and after on a couple of areas, and it's truly just staggering. It is startling. It is stunning. It'll give you a pain in your stomach. And to our neighbors, our friends, especially down in Fort Myers and Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, we're talking years to recreate, rebuild. It's really going to be...
It'll never be the same.
Well, it won't be because, a lot of the landmarks, a lot of the buildings, it won't be the same because, you can't rebuild, the way that they had built because of the new hurricane code. So in the future, anything rebuilt will be certainly better able to withstand a hurricane and surge. So, yeah, it's going to look different. I'm confident that everything is going to be rebuilt at some point, but it's not going to look the same because what was there has been wiped away. You look at some of these aerial shots, you look at some of the aerial video, and you're looking at just slab after slab of concrete where there was a structure, multi-story structure, and it's just gone. I mean, just to demonstrate the power of that hurricane and the fact that it was headed here to the Tampa Bay area. Again, just like Charlie in 2004, this was coming for us. So as you look at all of the video and the pictures and you hear the harrowing stories, remember, this could have been us. And I don't want to hear any, bozo, oh, I did all this preparation, it didn't come here. So what are you telling me? You would have rather it came here? I mean, stop the nonsense. Stop the insanity. I don't want to hear that garbage. But we just need to help our friends to the south. We're all Floridians here. And we have established a company Red Cross drive. And if you donate all the money goes to Southwest Florida. So through our links, because our parent company, Beasley Media Group, is based in Naples. So right there. And there was also plenty of problems in Collier County where Naples is. And our company is based there. It's where corporate headquarters are. We have set up a link so whatever you donate goes to the American Red Cross, not to the general fund in the United States. When you use our link, all of the money will go to Lee County and surrounding areas where they were hit. And you can just go to myq105.com/donate. Go to myq105.com/donate. Just give $10. The minimum donation for the Red Cross online is $10. Come on, you can afford $10 to help our friends out. And I got email from people saying they gave $500. So we're going to tell, hey, Froggy, whoa, Froggy, whoa, come here. Froggy. No,
Froggy's having a quick medical episode.
What's going on with him?
I think his coffee went down the wrong pipe and he's choking.
Dude, you're a walking disaster yourself over here. You all right?
It was a sneezing attack. Sorry.
Oh, sneezing attack.
I'm sorry, I saw you muffling your face. I thought you were choking.
Because as we come on the air today, we got a double curse situation. For any idea what the double curse situation is?
Double curse?
Yeah, we've got a double cursing situation.
Oh, as in, are you talking about like a witch curse?
Dude, no.
Like a wizard
no,
curse?
No, I'm talking about a profanity. We've got a double cursing situation, and you're in the midst of this. You're part of this.
What the bleep?
See?
All right, listen, I want you to think about this. We have, as we come on the air, we have a double cursing situation here on the MJ Morning Show. You think about it, and you give me your best answer next. Folks, you're going to want to hear this. What is the double cursing situation here on the MJ Morning Show this morning? We shall explain. Let's see if Froggy can guess what it is. And Froggy's in the middle of this. It's all next. Stand by. Back in a second. MJ Morning Show Q105.
Just a little hand.
and all the power went back on for the houses in my hood that were without power since Wednesday about 6 p.m. So what is that? Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday. So 3 days, right? 3 solid days without power. All right, MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 619 here on a Monday. Whole new week of MJ broadcasting. Hey, last week's total blur to me. And usually when we deal with these storms and we, go into our coverage mode here, things become somewhat of a blur. But luckily, the power back on in my neighborhood in South Tampa. I know that the bulk of the folks in a lot of our core counties right here in the immediate Tampa Bay area, the power for most is back on. Now, I've got the list here. All right, Froggy, I'm going to get to your little cursing episode in just 2 seconds here.
Double cursing.
But in my neighborhood in South Tampa, just 4 houses down from me, no power for 3 days. So most of my immediate street, power was on. But then 4 houses down, one of my neighbors, no power, because it turned out that 3 houses in a row there were wired to the street behind them. But then the next houses were not. I don't know how, but I don't know how the heck that works when it's the same overhead power lines, but it's crazy. The schematics for these power companies and how these lines run, again, during Irma, for instance, I had neighbors right down the street from me that had power, and a good portion of the end of my block, we had no power during Irma for 4 days because a giant tree had fallen in Beach Park, took out a wall surrounding a house, then hit the power lines, and it was just a tangle. And you could see all the lines and all just tangled up in the tree, so it was a dangerous situation. They had to get rid of this giant, 80-year-old oak tree first. It was just a mess. It's blocking the street and everything. Yeah, I posted those photos on my Instagram and my Twitter years ago. I don't even know if I was on Instagram back then, actually. I know it's on my Twitter. So, and the Bucks. God, ugh. It was such a stinker. My wife and I just hit record on the TiVo, and we started watching Blonde, the Marilyn Monroe biopic on Netflix last night.
Ooh. How was that?
You know what? It is good. I know there's a lot of backlash on that thing.
Is it a documentary or a movie?
No, it's a movie.
Oh.
It is a 2-hour and 47-minute movie, and we got through maybe half of it. Yeah, we got through maybe half of it last night.
Why is it so long? Why does everything got to be so long?
Or Netflix will do what else? What the other thing they do and make it 6 episodes.
Gosh.
No, it's an actual. Did you just go? Gosh?
It's just so long.
What was that? Hal Herman?
Hal Herman just popped up for a second because that's an outrage.
Came out of nowhere.
Hal Herman, you've just
it's just outrageous.
You just morphed. You just morphed into Hal Herman over there.
Sorry, I'll go back under the day.
All I heard was gosh.
I really had no idea you were so offended by Netflix actually making movies.
I hate long movies like that. Over 2 hours, it just shouldn't be done.
What was the final Bucks score? Was it 41-31?
41-31.
Oh my God!
Did you see Tom Brady after the game? He looked like a disheveled homeless person.
Did he really? No, I said, you know what? I'm not watching this crap.
His hair was all messed up.
Tom Brady, he is clearly so distracted by this Gisele Bündchen thing. There's no doubt about it. And then new reports about what's going on there. We'll get to that later on. But that was revenge. That was total revenge because of the Bucks beating of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a couple of years back. That was revenge. And I'll tell you what, all of the deficiencies of the Chiefs looks like those have been fixed.
Was it really revenge, or was it just the 4th game of the regular season?
Let's call it what it is.
Dude, the Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here? Come on. That was total revenge.
Okay, the Buccaneers won a world championship off of their ass, and the Chiefs just have one more little mark in the win column.
Dude, that's
called a receipt.
Revenge. I'm telling you, it's a revenge game.
That's the Chiefs coach trying to rally the troops.
It's a steel cage grudge match.
60% of the team now, currently, I think one player on defense was even on that Super Bowl team for the Chiefs. It's different players.
Dude, same coach, Mahomes. Yeah. Come on, dude.
Listen.
Come on, revenge.
Yeah,
anyway, the Bucks.
I'll lose game 4 of the season and win the championship any day.
The Bucks really stunk. Now, I know that, listen, and we'll get into the Bucks much later on. I realize that Oh, there goes Roxanne with those eye drops. So those are the ones that make your eyeballs super white. Did you get that on video?
Let me see this.
Andrew, did you get that on video? No? All right.
Roxanne
I'm just
has
trying to wake up and
Yeah.
get my peepers popping.
That's right, Lumify. It makes her
eyeballs get white like eyeballs in a Scooby-Doo episode where the eyeballs are just in the dark. That's what happens to Roxanne's eyeballs here.
It's almost as if Roxanne has a mild case of jaundice in her eyes.
Anyway, so guys, hang on.
And now they've been crest white strip.
We got a lot to do here. All right, first of all, Buccaneers. I turned that sucker off. And they've had an early tough season. So they've played some serious teams early on. And some of the schedule might get a little easier. But listen, do we look like a Super Bowl team right now?
No.
Heck no.
No, we don't. All right, quickly, back to power for a second. In the immediate counties, I see that power outages by county, Pinellas, only 18. Hold on, Andrew. Only 18 customers are without power in Pinellas County right now? Is that it? That's amazing. I guess Andrew's in mute mode right now.
My breaking information on county outages.
Yeah, what do you have?
Puts Pinellas County at a whopping 33.
All right, so why does it say 18 on my list here?
I don't know.
Andrew, you just handed me this.
It could have gone up.
Okay, so hold on. It does change. So since you handed me this, they've gone backward?
I believe it.
Okay. All right. So, listen, it's not that much of a difference. So the list that Andrew, our producer, gave me had Pinellas County at 18. And now it's up to 34.
Hillsborough, it's up to 34 now.
So from 18 that Andrew gave me half an hour ago when we started the show, now there are 34 customers without power in Pinellas. Hillsborough, 4,958.
That's down to 4,790 now.
Dude, when did you make this list?
Less than an hour ago.
Are you serious? It's dropping that quickly?
Within the hour, there's fluctuations. Yeah, I totally buy that. It's
One step forward, two steps back.
All right. So Hillsborough County's now down to 4,700. Pasco, 49. Polk, 7,482. Manatee, 37,000. Sarasota, 85,000. Hardee County, 3,659. DeSoto, 6,404. Then you look at our southern counties that were really hit by this hurricane. Charlotte County, 71,000 without power. Lee County, 281,000 without power. And Collier County, nearly 50,000 without power. So we will follow this, and it's going to be a fluid list. But in my neighborhood, a lot of excitement, and neighbors started texting. There's a whole text chain in my neighborhood. And as soon as the power came on at 3 p.m. on Saturday in South Tampa, in my hood, the text chain just exploded. Hey, power's back! And I had seen the power crews working. And I said hi to the power crew working on the pole, got some information, passed it along to the neighbors. So we'll get into all that later on. Busy show. All right, Froggy.
Yes.
Why are you in the midst of a double cursing situation?
I don't know. I can't think of my...
Just think. Why would you be in the midst of a double cursor? Come on, think.
I'm trying.
I don't have all day here. You've had 10 minutes to try to think.
Was it the cursing fisherman story?
Okay, yes. Okay, that's half. So I said double.
I don't know the other half.
The curse, Froggy has brought a story to the table, which don't tell Froggy, but I already saw it. But Froggy has much more expertise.
No way. I saw it before you.
No, you did not see it before me.
And what makes you think that?
Because I saw it first.
Oh, okay. Well, since you have facts.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, so Froggy is the fisherman on the program.
Yeah.
Froggy
Well,
is.
I try.
Froggy tries to fish. Are you still part of that Flats Mafia thing? Is that still a thing? The Flats Mafia? Oh, he's wearing the shirt today. Oh, my God. Hey, show Froggy shirt. Turn around. Show.
Flats Mafia. My buddy James's company.
Yeah, show your
Is
camera.
It really? Come over by me.
Show it.
Turn around. Let me see your backside.
All right, take Fester's camera. Look at that.
I want some free stuff for this.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Froggy's got the Flats Mafia shirt on today. So
this just feels right.
Get off his lap. Get off his lap. You're like a ventriloquist dummy on Fester's lap.
I made him pay for it.
Flats Mafia is a clothing apparel line.
There is a fishing story that is unbelievable. That there was a cheating story involving a fishing tournament, And this thing's crazy. Now, Froggy, you know the whole story. You're going to be able to cogently tell the story, right?
It's the most amazing fishing story ever.
This is insane. So we'll get to this later on. But the double cursing situation is, hey, can we get Roxanne putting mascara on, please?
Yeah,
Come on. Why do you stop? Why do you?
I'll get back to it. It's
People want to see you put your makeup on MJTV.
Okay.
MJ, you have to be a little more subtle about it.
I know.
If you draw attention,
I need the button over here. I need to just be able to turn Roxanne's camera on. All right. So, Froggy, double cursing. The audio from the fishing tournament story is just laced with so many curses.
Those guys weren't happy.
All right, this is a crazy story we'll get to later on, but what is the double part?
I don't know. Did I get caught cursing somewhere?
No.
Okay.
This is going to take all day. I'm just going to have to blurt
lay
it
it out for him.
So Froggy sends audio of this fishing tournament that just goes bonkers, and the cursing in the video is intense. The other part of the cursing story is Andrew, our producer, was cursing you all morning long.
Oh, I'm sorry. I told him.
Because of the number of curses, I walk in and he was all... Andrew was all disgruntled and angry.
Oh, no.
I said, hey, Andrew, good morning. And he just almost puked up green slime on me. I was like, just angry and yelling. Andrew, have you calmed down?
Yes, I have.
You have.
I've had my green tea.
I apologize.
So that's the double cursing situation. We have a story with audio that had so many curses.
There was a lot of cursing.
That our producer, Andrew, was cursing and disgruntled and angry and was close to breaking stuff, I think, this morning. Because why couldn't you just bleep it at home? You have audio software at home to edit and add bleeps. Why wouldn't you do this?
I don't have a bleepifier.
I'll give you one.
Beep.
I guess I could have
Just
done
go on YouTube and get a 1K tone and then put it. You have a recorder at home. You have right?
What do I have? I'm 42 years old. I got a lot of bleep going on.
Just like Tom Brady?
Yeah, just like him. Did he say that?
Yeah, well, something close to that.
I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
See?
Amen to
I
that,
didn't
sir.
have time to bleep.
So you're 42 and you got a lot of bleep going on.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got early morons in the news next. So, what a pile today. I'm telling you right now.
You've been stacking them up.
Well, we're kind of backed and stacked because of all of our hurricane coverage last week. And, folks, remember, please donate to the American Red Cross. Our link has been simplified, myq105.com/donate. myq105.com/donate. If you use our link to the American Red Cross, that guarantees that all of your money that you donate to the American Red Cross goes to Southwest Florida and not to the national fund nationwide for the American Red Cross. It'll be earmarked for the state. All right, 6:31, just getting rolling here. MJ Morning Show on Q105, and we'll get into the early chunk of the morons in the news next. Now, Kemp Rouge and Green is... Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is time for the Morons in the News, the early edition. I'm a little backed up. You know, we didn't really get to a whole lot of Morons in the News last week, Fester, because of obviously our hurricane coverage.
You know, MJ, I got to tell you, I'm really proud of the shows we did last week. I thought we helped a lot of people. I thought we got a lot of really good information out there. You know, a couple of days we went very long after the program. I'm just really proud of the work that as a crew and a group, especially you leading the charge on that. I'm just really proud of everything we did last week.
Thank you, buddy. You know, listen, it's what we do. I've just been doing this. I kind of go into autopilot mode. It's just something that I've been dealing with here in Florida. I came to this state a month after Andrew on the East Coast. So I arrived in Florida a month after Hurricane Andrew in 92. My first morning show job actually was in West Palm Beach. So north, obviously, of where Andrew hit down in Miami-Dade and Kendall and Homestead, et cetera. But, you know, you get indoctrinated quickly. And the number of storms that we've covered here, the near misses, you kind of just go into automatic mode. And that's what we do here at the MJ Morning Show. But thanks for the nice words, Fester. Appreciate it. You know, we've had a lot of nice email and feedback on social media from people. And trust me, folks, it's highly appreciated. But it's just what we do around here. It's the public service that we want to bring. And we shall continue, obviously. Today, we're going to be doing a very specific drive for American Red Cross money later on. Between 8 and 10 a.m. It's all part of our whole company. There's a company-wide effort in all of our markets. You know, even like Boston and Detroit and Philadelphia and, of course, our Florida markets here for our company, Beasley Media Group. So details on that coming up in just a bit. All right, early morons in the news. No particular order, just a whole lot to deal with. If you have a sibling that stops the wash cycle during your load of laundry to put theirs in, how do you handle that?
You shank them.
That may not be too far from the truth.
You shake them like
Shank.
Shank, like a
I
Shank.
thought you said you shake them.
No, that too.
You don't grab them by the shoulders and go back and forth, and shake them.
Like the agitator.
Right. No,
in the washing machine. You ever have a washing machine that's like totally out of balance?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just
Yes.
slamming into the walls. It's like damaging the drywall and making holes in. Man, I once had a washing machine that it was on a platform. Like it was raised on a platform.
It'll walk right off the platform.
Exactly. We once had a washing machine that was out of balance, and I don't know how the hell it happened, but it was shaking so much. It was like a paint shaker at your buddy Lou's place. Where's that?
Sherwin-Williams, of course.
Or hang on a minute. Or, of course, Tanner Paints.
Of course.
Our good buddy Walker Tanner down at Tanner Paints with their new South Tampa location on Manhattan and what is that, Euclid or El Prado, somewhere over there. Anyway, so
she said shanked.
Do you know I've lived in South Tampa since 1994, and I still confuse El Prado and Euclid. I still have a hard time figuring out what is on Euclid and what is on El Prado.
That's some serious South Tampa problems you have.
I'm telling you, I got some big South Tampa, some big STPs, as opposed to STDs.
You down with STP?
Yeah.
So she said,
or STDBs.
They're all over the place,
you got a lot of STDBs, by the way.
So, listen. So, she said shank. She went to her prison vernacular.
Yeah, but you heard shank. I heard shake.
No, I heard shank.
Thank you.
Listen, it's just like that commercial you do.
I heard chic.
Like
the Iron Sheik.
Yes.
Oh, really? Or like Le Freak the Chic or something?
Roxanne will shank you in your icking joints.
That's right. That's the word. So do we still have that audio bite up here?
On.
So Roxanne does a commercial for a great company called QC Kinetics.
Yes, but I actually like how I pronounced it
It's
in that
wrong.
commercial
But it's not icking. It's aching.
Yeah, but how icky do you feel if your joints are aching?
Andrew, can you find that audio bite, please? Just tune in over here and try and find aching joints. It's somewhere in the thing, but you probably can find it quicker.
Aching.
Yeah. So it sounded like you said shake and not shank.
Shank.
Yeah.
So if
in your aching joints.
Here. Listen. All right. This is Roxanne doing the commercial for QC Kinetics.
In your aching joints.
You're trying to say aching joints, but it sounds like icking. Here, roll it.
In your aching joints. It sounds like I had a tick.
Hit it again.
When I said it. In your aching joints.
It's ick. You say icking. So it's like that far off that I think you might have said shake instead of shank.
listen, she'll shank you in your icking joint. You keep this up.
I'm going to have an icking joint because I've been shanked.
It'll be shaking when I chase you around the room with my
All right, here's the deal. Do you remember what my original freaking question was?
Oh, yeah. It was, what do you do if someone takes your clothes out of the washing machine? Stops the load to add their clothes.
This is... What's going on over here?
We're waiting for you to finish.
All right, but you guys, I remember about something over here. All right, so this is what occurred. This is out of the Cleveland, Ohio area, Richmond Heights, Ohio. Officers respond to a 911 call at a residence, learned that the guy had called because his sister had taken his clothes out of the washing machine without his permission. It was his third load of laundry, and the woman said she took it out because he was taking too long. The guy, 27, wanted to pursue charges against his sister for touching his laundry. Folks, there are much more important things to call 911 on, okay? You don't call 911 because someone took your laundry out of the spin cycle. I mean, hello, 911, what's your emergency? Yeah!
I was doing a load of delicates, and someone just added their towels and underwear.
Whoa.
You know what I just thought of that I haven't thought of since like 1985?
How you wash your delicates?
No, I don't have any damn delicates.
I don't know. Roxanne brought it up.
You know what I just thought of? I had a guy in my dorm call campus police on me.
What?
For a laundry-related incident.
Laundry
Folks,
infraction?
I have not thought of this since the mid-1980s and college. So I'm in Hilliard Hall at Ithaca College in Ithaca, New York. And I started in 1984. This was either 84 or 85. I think it was 84. I think it might have been my freshman year. And we had a laundry room right in the dorm. It was a 3-story dorm. It was a quad, one of those, they call the area the quad, where the multiple 3-story dorms. And you had the central lobby area. Then you had the male dorm rooms on one side. Then the female dorm rooms were on the other side. So we had a laundry room, and this guy accused me of stealing a pair of his jeans. I'm like, what are you talking about? The guy was like, much taller than I was. I didn't steal your jeans. So apparently I used the washing machine after him, and as was customary, it was either washer or dryer. I can't remember. So it might have been either his load was done and I put it on top. That was just standard. If you, in a dorm, if your stuff is done, if it's in the washing machine, you take it out, you put it on top of a dryer. Or if your dryer's done and your clothes are dry, you put it in a basket or you put it on top of the dryer, because you don't need to wait for somebody to come get their stuff after the cycle's done, right? So you take it out. So I believe I took the guy's stuff out of either the washing machine or the dryer, but his jeans were missing. And he accused me of stealing his jeans. I'm like, I haven't stolen anything in my life. I'm not stealing your jeans. You're considerably taller than I am. I don't have your jeans. He called the campus police on me.
How'd you prove your innocence?
Well, there was nothing to prove that I was guilty. I didn't take the guy's jeans.
Start showing up to class in some new jeans with some big cuffs on the bottom.
I don't even remember what kind of jeans I think they're just a pair of Levi's.
They're probably Z Cavaricis.
Whatever.
Were they stonewashed?
They were just regular Levi's jeans, and the guy accused me of stealing his jeans. And I'm like, dude, I didn't take your jeans.
You're a jean thief.
How do you know what kind of jeans they were?
What?
How do you know what kind of jeans they were?
Oh, because I remember that he yelled they were Levi's. The cops were like, hey, do you have Levi's jeans? That's imprinted on me. They were just like regular Levi's jeans. And I didn't even own Levi's jeans.
You're a big Rustlers fan, weren't you?
Oh, I had Wranglers, man.
Wranglers, yeah.
I had Wranglers. No, actually, I think I did have some Levi's, but I had a pair of Guess jeans back then in the mid 1980s. I had a pair of male Guess jeans, but I didn't take the guy's jeans. And here, like, the campus police are coming after me. Anyway,
how do you feel about getting this repressed memory to bubble up to the surface and getting it out? Do you feel better?
That could be the core and the key to all of my psychological problems. That now I've released the monster, like The Conjuring or something.
Thank you for clearing up that you had male Guess jeans. Thank you.
I was not squeezing it to female Guess jeans.
Put that out there right away. Or male jeans.
But the bottom line is this guy, 27, wanted to pursue charges against his sister for touching his laundry, but the cops said, hey, dude, no crime's been committed. They were both told to work out their situation, work out the matter as adults. They were both living together in grandma's house. How about you're 27 years old. How about getting your own place and not live in grandma's house?
There's other solutions to this than calling 911.
Part of the damn problem here. I got a school bus issue, but that's going to take a little longer. I don't know what's going on in Ohio. I think I do have a couple of Florida moron stories, but Ohio's just stepping it up today. Can you imagine that you go to a car dealership to buy a car and the sales guy shoots you?
That's some shrewd negotiations right there.
Oh, my God. I've heard of some real rough and tumble negotiations, but man, Bedford, Ohio, a car dealership employee at a Hyundai dealer is accused of shooting a customer, pleaded not guilty on Friday. He was also, given a $100,000 bond, a temporary restraining order to stay away. Luckily, the the customer just shopping for cars. He's still alive. Took a bullet to the hip.
So he's pleading not guilty. So what is his defense, I wonder? Like, the only explanation could be maybe he was demonstrating bulletproof windows in the car?
No, I don't think Hyundai has a bulletproof window option on their cars. Andrew Mach was indicted on 2 charges of felonious assault. Happened earlier this summer. He was in court on Friday. His bond was continued at $100,000. Bedford police said that Mach shot the customer around 1:30 p.m. on August 26th at Hyundai of Bedford. We're blowing the heck out of high prices. We're opening fire on high prices at Bedford Hyundai. What's going on here? So the ambulance back in August arrives at the scene, finds the customer on the ground in the parking lot with a gunshot to his left hip area.
Oh, poor guy.
The victim, Brian Hedren, was taken to the hospital by paramedics. At Mach's arraignment, he made sure the judge knew exactly how he felt. Now that you know what my family looks like, I don't know what you have going on in your mind, said Brian Hedon. I think I said Hedren. Hedon, H-E-A-D, or Hedon, H-E-A-D-O-N. He's the victim. So what is he like? Is he worried that the car salesman is going to come after his family now? So Hedon said he wanted more to be done because he not only fears for his life, but now his family's life. But we don't know what's going on. Why did the sales guy shoot the customer in a Hyundai parking lot at a dealership in Ohio?
This is only the arraignment. This whole thing has to come out in trial.
I know. So none of the stories are saying what happened. How does Fester, you sell RVs at General RV.
Yeah. Yes.
What would cause you to shoot a customer kicking the tires on a I don't know, Winnebago?
I mean, it would take an awful lot.
Like,
I mean, it would really, it's really high threshold.
You
for
imagine
shooting.
you go car shopping, you get shot by the sales guy?
So here's a picture of.
I mean, I've heard that sales guys at car dealerships are predators. At some dealerships.
Here's the guy. Here's Mach or Mach. And then his lawyer looks identical to him. They're both two fat,
bald guys.
triple-jawed.
Yeah.
And MJ.
They got more chins than I don't know what.
Who knows?
I don't think you can say that joke
You can't
anymore.
say it anymore.
You sure can't.
No,
Yeah.
no more.
I thought you were going with it. I was kind of shocked.
Don't know what.
That's the first chunk of Morons in the News, but we don't know why this happens. Crazy stuff. That's why we call it Morons in the News. All right, folks, stand by. We'll do chunk 2 of Morons in the News next. MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 652. Our good friends at Plan B. Froggy and Fester and Roxanne, 7:02 on a Monday morning. And before I get some hot tips for kids getting ready for school this morning, or parents, you might want to pass along these tips to your kids. This is important stuff. This could really help them with their academic careers. Get to that in just a second. But quickly, when the Buccaneers fumbled in the opening drive.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, they did. Yeah.
Dude,
I saw it and I was like, oh my God.
Hold on. You didn't watch. You just said they did. You didn't watch Jack. What were you doing last night? The Bucs came on at what, 8:20? Sunday Night Football in America, whatever the hell it is on NBC. What were you doing?
I had an official league race last night.
Oh,
so,
great.
you know.
I only watched half the Bucs game last night because I was so disgusted. Michelle and I turned on Blonde on Netflix, the Marilyn Monroe movie, at halftime. We're like, I'm done with this already.
Is it that bad, huh?
But,
so the Buccaneers fumbled the opening kickoff.
Yeah, did I say what I said?
Opening drive.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Opening kickoff. So the Chiefs scored in like 46 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like 46 seconds elapsed on the clock, and the opening kickoff. Thank you for correcting me. The opening kickoff, the Buccaneers fumble, and boom, Kansas City already has a touchdown on the board in 46 seconds into the game, and that pretty much set the pace for the whole damn thing.
Even Todd Bowles said we got our butts kicked in every facet on
yeah.
defense.
Well, I wonder how the hurricane, how that affected the Bucs as far as the schedule, because they had a practice down in Miami. Didn't they move down to Miami to practice?
They did.
So, and then there was a possibility that they would have to play the game up in Minnesota in the Viking Stadium. I think that's what?
They floated that around.
I think it's like U.S. Bank Stadium or something up in Minneapolis. So that was a possibility. So there was certainly some disruption to the normal patterns for the Bucs this past week, but still. And then the Brady distractions with Giselle. Listen, anyway, 41-31. Bucs just kind of stunk up the place. Oh, the flyover. The military jet flyover, man. That thing came over my house going, and then it came back over my house even closer and lower. And I have never heard a plane that loud over my house ever.
What kind of plane?
It was some type of fighter jet. I didn't see exactly what it was, and I looked on my.
This is what we rely on you for.
I was at an F-15 maybe. I don't know. Was it a FA-18? I don't know. Fester, see if you can find out what kind of plane they used for the flyover last night.
Roxanne seems so concerned about it.
Yeah.
He's the plane observer.
I'm going to put Roxanne on aviation research.
All right, to all of the kids getting ready for school this morning, I've got a hot tip. Got a hot scoop for you here. Don't cause these kinds of problems on the bus, all right? And especially if your name is Gus.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate because there's a lot of kids in the elementary school ranks right now rocking a Gus.
Yeah, Gus is if you look at the registry of like all the popular names these days, Gus is really rocking it hard. Yeah. Anyway, this is crazy. This is out in Nevada, out near Vegas in Henderson. School bus driver Vicente Linen. He pulled over for a second time on his way back from a Henderson, Nevada public school. Folks, don't do this on the bus. A girl grabbed the steering wheel and told the bus driver she was going to drive. Oh, my God. The wheels on the bus go
Give
round.
me the wheel!
Wait a second. That's just the beginning. That's just... It gets weird from here. Can you imagine you're a bus driver and a girl grabs the wheel of the bus and says
we know what she's doing at
that
home.
she's going to drive? The kids on this guy's bus were out of control. They were standing up. They were climbing over the seats. They put they put tape over the security cameras.
Oh, those kids know what they're doing.
These kids are prepared. They put tape over the security cameras.
If you're raised in this generation, that's how you think. You think there's cameras watching me. What can I do to obstruct them?
Pulling the emergency windows down, opening doors, like the emergency door in the back. Those are just some of the details that are in the police report, which includes an assault in which the bus driver was then attacked by an irate mother. Wait a minute. You got the kids going bonkers on the bus, and then a mother punched the guy 4 times in the face, breaking his glasses.
That's right.
Is this a separate mother? Is this the mother of the girl who wanted to drive?
I don't know what the hell is going on.
That's a great question. Is it other parents or is it just
Why
one?
did you let my... So the bus, goes to the bus stop and the girl and a girl, and the mother says, why did you let my daughter drive? And punches the guy. I don't know. So the mother then punches Vicente, the bus driver, in the face 4 times, busted the guy's glasses. This is insane. The mom, identified as Elizabeth Tanner, 37, was angry, actually, because the bus was an hour late.
Well, the kids were so awful.
In dropping off her child. This is just nuts. So kids, don't do this on the bus. Yeah. Lennon was late. He told school district police because he had been forced to pull over 3 times on the route because the kids were out of control on the bus. After dropping off the kids at that bus stop, 3 angry parents stormed the bus after he went to this particular bus stop. And the mother, this Tanner mom, was yelling, then hit Lennon in the face 4 times.
Go easy on the bus driver.
Another parent took a swing at Lennon but missed. What is it? Outside of the bus, a man was yelling and making threatening gun gestures with his hands.
Jeez.
The parents are as bad as the kids on the damn bus. My God.
So I remember I had a bus driver, I think in 6th grade or 7th grade.
Yeah.
And he would stand on we were rowdy a couple of days, and he would stand on the brakes and send everybody flying. And after like 3 or 4 times it settled us down.
He was shortstop Stan.
Yeah, it was.
That's who he was. My God, can you imagine? The kids are just monsters, then the parents are like even worse?
That's usually how it works.
I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, as they say. All right, this is school tip number 2 this morning for all the kids getting ready for school. Yeah, you might not want to film a slave auction prank.
Oh, dude, what?
Yeah.
Year is this?
Guess what? A California high school has canceled the entire football season. Can you imagine being a senior and you're playing football? It's your last year to play for the high school. Whole season canceled. And listen, if you were part of this, then, well, you deserve it. If you were not part of this, then you're a victim of circumstance here. You're a collateral damage. But this is for to answer your question, what year is this?
Yes.
This is 2022.
Okay.
Yes, just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, but the kids are acting like it's 1822.
This is nuts. A California high school, they have canceled the remainder, or really the bulk, of the football season after members of the team were filmed enacting a prank in which they appeared to auction off black teammates. What the hell are you guys doing?
Was it antebellum themed?
The video showed members of River Valley High School's football team seeming to act out a slave auction of their black teammates. The school district got a hold of the video late last week. Yuba City, California. The superintendent called the video unacceptable, deeply offensive. The students involved in the unfortunate and extremely distressing incident were barred from competing the rest of the football season for violating the student-athlete code. Because of this, the varsity football team no longer has enough members to play for the rest of the season, and it has been canceled.
Oh. So they took action against the guilty students.
Canceled.
You need to have so many players on a team.
Yeah, they can't put a team out there with like 5 players. Yeah, they don't have
Cancel
enough.
culture is out of control, but that's a good cancellation.
Yeah, I don't think I would tie cancel culture to this.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is an example where canceling is appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, what are they thinking? Another thing that is just baffling to me is when you have like hazing in colleges, and how many stories have there been where let's say kids pledging a frat, for instance, or young women pledging a sorority. How many stories have there been regarding hazing and students being injured or there have been just about thank you. Thank you for blurting that in.
Well, that's what you're getting at. There have been deaths associated with people drinking at college campuses.
Brutally killed.
Tell you what, as I'm just telling the story, just start blurting things out, guys.
Yes.
All right, so I'm
What do we
amazed
do?
at colleges.
Paddles. Paddles. For
Frog,
frat houses.
it's your turn. So, I'm just amazed.
Fluorescent lighting.
I'm just amazed at what occurs, in these.
Putin. I saw Putin.
Did you say Putin?
You saw Putin on TV.
Putin.
Yeah.
No, but
Putin's on TV.
what are these schools thinking? I mean, how many stories are in the news about frats getting barred and banned and kicked off campus, or kids getting hazed during pledging?
Roxanne, how many?
45.
Thank you.
But there are tons of these stories that are in the news constantly, and it still happens. Why is it still happening when you know that you're going to get in trouble and you're going to get arrested or thrown out of school, or your sorority or fraternity is going to be banned for life potentially? My God, I just don't get it. Anyway, so, slave auction prank is not a good idea and is deeply offensive. All right, I got to take our break here in a second. And, folks, coming up, though, ladies and gentlemen, the unbelievably long chunk of the MJ Morning Show starts in mere moments. We go an hour and 20 minutes with in fact, today I think it's going to be a little over an hour. It could be an hour and 23 minutes. We start a long chunk of the MJ Morning Show coming up next. Hey, quickly want to remind all of our listeners that MJ Morning Show on Q105 at 7:23. MJ here with Roxanne and Froggy and Fester, and I want to grab some phone calls.
I got something for you.
Can I?
You're going to be all over this.
Yeah,
You're going to be so happy I told you.
I'm sure I am.
Today.
I'm sure I'm going to be all over this.
Yes.
I want to grab some phone calls just in a little bit on the aftermath of Hurricane Ian and the effects in the Tampa Bay area. So I want to grab some phone calls. I noticed while driving around a couple of places, some gas stations still had not been refilled with gas over the weekend, and I saw those bags over the pumps. So I'll take some phone calls here in just a bit regarding the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. We also have the rundown of the continued power outages in the Tampa Bay area, and it's getting better. You know, certainly we're faring a whole lot better than our friends to the south. It's just unbelievable when you see the devastation. All right, Roxanne, what is your very important breaking news here this morning on the MJ Morning Show?
Well, I was just trying to keep it light with today being National Name Your Car Day.
Oh, my.
Didn't you want to know about that? Because you love these national days.
All right, folks, Roxanne is triggering me because Roxanne knows that I despise the national days. And there's like a website that has all of these silly national days.
Every day is something.
And every day is something, but every day is like 5 or 6 things.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to this website, which I don't even, Fester just went to the National Day calendar.
It's National Day calendar.
Oh, my God.
And every day you click on something.
Jeez.
I mean, in addition to Name Your Car Day.
It's National Name Your Car Day.
What's tomorrow?
Hold on. Today is like 10 things.
Oh, wait, really?
National Techie. You know what? No, there are like
National Techie what?
There are like dozens of things. It's insane.
National Boyfriend Day.
Oh, all right, listen.
Is it National Tech Friendly Day?
Okay,
well?
tomorrow.
Hold on. What is that?
You said tech, so I got excited.
It is National Techies
All right.
Day.
Oh, I thought you said check.
No, I said check.
I thought you said tech friendly.
Check.
I can't understand you with your spit talk over there.
All right, so
Check friendly.
tomorrow's
With
a much more
your
significant.
sloshy spit talk over there.
Tomorrow's a much more significant
Yes.
day. Not only is it National Cinnabon Day in the morning, it is National Taco Day, which I will be celebrating.
No. It's National Cinnamon Bun Day.
What did I say?
You said Cinnabon Day, which is the registered trademark of a particular company. It's National Cinnamon Bun Day.
You wanna
It's
get
not
sued?
the actual Cinnabon Company Day.
Oh, look at you with all
All
your
right,
National
guys,
Day knowledge.
Wednesday is National Get Funky Day.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop now,
All
Roxanne. Why are you derailing the program today?
I just wanted you to know, because you're a car guy.
What
Maybe
day
your
is it
car
again?
has a name.
What day is it again?
I messed that up. It was actually yesterday.
What?
National Name Your Car Day was yesterday.
What?
So you even messed it up?
Yeah, I did. Oops.
Well, then what's today?
Hold
I
on.
derailed to totally
Let me type it
false
into-
information.
So
October
yesterday was
2nd.
Yes.
So that was
It
yesterday.
was yesterday.
All right. Hold on a second. No, who asked me if I named my car? I
did.
I've never named the car.
You've never named your car?
I've never named the car. I've had a lot of cars, and I've never named the car ever. I think that is stupid to name your car.
I've named every car I have, and I refer to the car in that name. My Lincoln is named Margaret.
Your 2004 Lincoln Town Car, that heap in the parking lot,
Is
are
named
the
Margaret.
lights still flashing right now?
The alarm is not. The doors are opened, so it only happens.
What
when the
day
doors
was
are
that
locked.
last week?
It
Was
was
that Wednesday?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't remember.
One of the days last week, I'm a few minutes behind Fester. I come into the parking lot in the 5 o'clock hours, 5:45 in the morning, getting ready to come up to the studio, and Fester's car is already here because Fester's already here. Fester's car did not drive itself without Fester.
Right, that's right.
And Fester's lights are flashing. The headlights are flashing. The rear lights are flashing. Now, when I saw it, no horn was going off. But then Froggy came in after me. And then Froggy, when you came in, the lights were flashing as well as the horn was blaring, right?
Yeah, I remember I thought he had a stroke or something, so I went through to see if he was okay.
Froggy thought that Fester had keeled over and was leaning on the steering wheel.
I mean, what else? What's the other
If
explanation?
I lock my car, the sensor won't recognize it as locked, and the alarm will go off within like 3 minutes.
Fester,
So-
get a new car.
Margaret is the
Jesus.
name of the Lincoln.
Here's the Margaret
She
thing.
looks like
there.
a Margaret.
Well, I bought the old lady I bought it off of was named Margaret.
Oh,
so that's
great.
how I got the name.
All right.
The Tesla is named Betty White, and we were,
You've named your white Tesla Betty White?
dude. If you called the kids up right now, they would tell you my car is Margaret and the Tesla is Betty Hulk Smash White. That's the whole name. Hudson wanted to put the middle.
What does Hulk Smash have to
because
do with it?
Obviously,
Everybody-
Hudson had a choice in it.
Hudson. Well, Hadley wanted to name it Betty White. Hudson wanted to name it Hulk Smash.
I like Hulk
so
Smash.
when we rented a car, the car was called Heat Waves because that's my son's favorite song right now. My wife's
Okay.
old car, the Explorer, was named Lucy. My truck was named Chief Turkey.
Why was your pickup truck named Chief Turkey?
It was the name of the truck. It was
Is
name
that
of
the one you smashed into the YMCA on Himes?
No,
My God.
no,
Well, all right,
no.
what was the name of the pickup truck you smashed into the YMCA on Himes?
That was Betty. That
Black
was another
Betty.
Betty. But that was Black Betty. That wasn't Betty
that's
White.
right. Oh, that's right. That was Black Betty.
That was and
that's
then-
right.
And then,
And for those that don't know,
That was Black Betty is like 2000.
yeah, 2000.
that was. By the way, for those that don't know, around 2000, Fester claims he got cut off by a school bus on Himes going south.
Claims.
remember
What do you
this.
mean
Absolutely
claims?
did.
Fester swerved off into the Himes YMCA parking lot and smashed through a whole bunch of those like sawed off like telephone poles
That news story.
It was. So they had those sawed-off telephone poles that were like little barricades in the park. Fester mows over a bunch of those and then crashes head-on into an oak tree. That was the fate of Black Betty. That,
Right,
was-
so
that was
the-
total, right?
Total. The red
Total
truck.
the vehicle.
I'm watching dinner that night with my family because I'm a young man and
Oh,
I
my
see
God.
local radio man in horrific car accident. Fester.
Fester was on like Fox 13 and
bet.
News Channel 8. Sue Zelenko, I think, did the story on Channel 10.
Sue was worried.
Yeah.
So-
and back in the day, who was before Marty Ryan? It was, remember, who was the anchor?
don't know.
You had Brendan McLaughlin, and who was the other anchor?
She moved to Orlando.
Yeah.
I forget.
Oh, so you have you have Wendy Ryan now.
Wendy Ryan now.
Wendy Ryan, that was Marty.
Matthews.
Janetti.
But she
changed
she
her
went to
name.
Orlando and then changed her name to like Marty Salt or something. Or
Marty
that,
Salt.
That might be her real name, but
Right.
she had a different name in Tampa. So yeah, Fester was on all the local news channels for smashing his vehicle through the YMCA parking lot on Himes.
The red truck was named Vanessa.
All right, I think I'm done with this right now.
Yeah.
Listen, you
All
got,
right.
you,
I do- the
You've
best-
never named your car before.
Never.
That's the weird thing.
I have never. Look what you've done, Roxanne.
You can't name
My
like
fault.
super expensive cars.
Look what you've done.
you absolutely name it. You name every car.
I've named 0 cars. I've never had a name for my car ever.
They're
But
they're all named Overkill.
I do find what?
They're all named compensate. Listen, my white.
They're all named what?
Overkill. That's too much.
I was gonna say compensate, overcompensating. That's what I was gonna
Overcompensate.
Oh really?
Oh,
Oh really?
yeah,
Oh,
say-
yeah.
oh, really?
Overcompensating for what, Fester?
what?
say.
Fester?
I don't say this,
Yeah.
but you know what
Yeah.
they say.
More expensive the car, the
Yeah.
smaller the.
Yeah,
I-
small junk. I mean, yeah,
Guys.
That's why I drive
Yeah.
the cheapest truck possible.
I mean, yeah. Have you named your truck?
Silver Bandit.
Guys, I'm moving on here. I've never named the car, but I do find your new white Tesla that your wife drives, named Betty White. I do find that pretty funny.
Betty White. Yeah. The
So
old-
if it doesn't die.
That's it. I'm done with your cars.
we just rented a car for the evacuation.
You named the Hertz rental car?
Okay, my daughter named that car Karen because the car kept telling my wife where to go. This car's a Karen.
Clever.
So
What,
that was the Karen.
A talking GPS or something?
Yeah, we couldn't figure out how to shut it up.
Yeah, you go into the settings, you turn the voice off on the GPS.
Yeah, we name every car.
I named 0 cars. I swear I've never had a name for a car ever in my entire life.
If my son saw your car, first thing he'd say is, "What's its name?" And you'd be like, Silver Bandit.
All right, Buccaneers. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I got to believe that. What was it now?
I was told Marty Tucker.
Oh, was it Marty Tucker on Channel 28?
thank
I
God.
can't
Marty
remember.
Matthews.
Not
I
Marty
thought it was
Salt.
Marty
Okay.
Matthews.
I don't know.
Anyway, all right. So Are we pretty certain now that Tom Brady's head is getting messed up with the whole Giselle Bundchen thing?
No, you are.
Come on.
What?
Come on. And why isn't it being addressed? Why is it still like the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and none of the reporters are asking Tom Brady at the pressers, about, hey, is the whole Giselle situation and the fact that all these reports that you guys are living apart?
Because it's largely men, first of all, and men compartmentalize better than, or that's what you do. So that's people don't even see that as a tie. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but no reporter is going to sit there and be like, Tom, you didn't have the game you wanted to. I bet it's because of your problems with Giselle.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say that.
Okay, so
That's got to be a factor. Is it 100% a factor? No, but it's got to be a factor. Yeah, Andrew, what were you going to say?
I don't know that this is wrong of me to say, but is it possible that he's just not as good as he used to be?
Dun, dun, dun.
You mean Tom Brady, the vampire, is aging?
all right.
How dare you say that
I mean,
about me?
he
right.
did say,
I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
yeah, he did say that
Don't
recently.
make me suck your blood.
That's actually the truest words I've ever heard.
I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
Tom Brady nor Giselle, neither of them fumbled the opening kickoff. Neither of them. Giselle didn't run out there in high heels.
That
and
is
some,
true. The Buccaneers
she didn't-
off to a lousy start last night. The Kansas City Chiefs, they had points on the board. They scored a touchdown within 46 seconds after the Bucs fumbled in the opening seconds of the game on the return.
Welcome to Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs. Giselle Bundchen taking the kickoff right now. Oh, she fumbled it. Oh, no. That didn't happen.
Oh, I was going to say, did that happen?
Wouldn't that be
Remember
awesome?
Giselle with the Amazing Sports Point years ago when he played for the Patriots.
Oh, I
and she was
thought you
like,
were going to say
"My-"
Giselle with the amazing sports bra. Why did I think you were going to say?
because she wore that in her video.
Oh, okay.
When she
Yeah.
saved the turtle. No, but she said years ago, she was like, my husband can't throw the ball and catch the ball, which is a great point.
Did you just try to do a Giselle impersonation there?
She does a good Giselle.
I do, but I have to get into character.
Let me hear your Giselle.
I think she just
Yeah,
insulted everybody of European descent ever.
Yeah.
Listen,
I have
Roxanne,
to-
don't go half-assed on it. You got to go full Giselle. If you want to do Giselle, don't do it halfway. You got to go full Giselle.
It's a tough accent
Go.
to do because it's like it's Brazilian, so I'm not quite there. But
You got to go
My-
full Giselle. Let's go.
full
Come on.
Giselle.
Giselle, it's
Giselle.
Tom. What
Oh,
are you
did you
making
see
for
it?
dinner?
Tonight, I don't feel like cooking your stupid
Night-
book full of all your
nightshade
nightshade-free and tomato-free. Tomatoes are nightshades, right? And
I don't know.
And your bone broth
Gosh, babe.
and your wheatgrass. And,
Gosh, chill out. Why are you all like attacking me? 45, I got a lot of stuff.
Anyway, listen, I said I'm not going to dwell on the Bucs. 41-31 loss. And yeah, I think it was revenge-like because the Chiefs in town and the Bucs obviously beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a couple of years back. So, yeah, I think it was sort of a revenge game. And yes, and the Bucs schedule disrupted. They practiced down in Miami because of the impending hurricane. So, were they as prepared? Were they thrown out of their element a bit? Not even knowing if the game was going to be played in Tampa last night. The backup, if the hurricane had come this way, or if we were affected more drastically, the backup was the Bucs were going to play in Minnesota where the Vikings play.
None of that affects the players. I mean, they knew early in the week that they were going to be playing in Tampa. And, yeah, they had to move their practice facility for a couple of days, but these guys are pros. This is what they do. They didn't go to, Alaska. They went to Miami.
Yeah, I mean, and they play the same sport every week. I mean, don't they know how to do it by now?
So what are you saying? You don't need to practice?
Why are you looking at me like that?
What are you saying?
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Tom Brady's been playing the same sport for 25 years. Don't you know what to do by now?
He's the one that knew what to do last night. The
And
rest
then,
of them, I don't know.
Before I move on here, I just want to mention that good friends of ours, they were at, Epicurean, the hotel.
I love Epicurean.
Epicurean, which is right across the street from Burn's Steakhouse.
Yes.
Same owners. So you have the Epicurean Hotel.
The rooftop bar,
Yeah,
the
there's-
restaurant Elevage.
Yeah, so you mentioned Elevage. So my friends were Friday night at Elevage. They were sitting outside. I guess, is there a deck out there? They were sitting outside, but they were sitting next to a window, and right inside the window, so they're sitting outside at a table or wherever they were sitting,
Okay.
and then looking inside the window right there next to them was Chris Collingsworth.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
he's NBC, right?
He called the game last night.
He called the game last night. So Chris Collingsworth and that other dude, they're the NBC players. So Chris Collingsworth was already in town on Friday night having dinner at Elevage right across from Burns.
Shut up. Stop right
on
there.
South in
Stop
South
right there.
Town on
Stop right
South
there.
Howard in South.
Stop.
Why you tell me to stop?
What's the guy's name?
Chris Collingsworth.
You're putting the
Collingsworth.
next-
Say it again.
Chris Collingsworth.
Oh, damn it. You've been saying it with a G like,
Whatever.
for the last 20 times.
Whatever. Chris Collingsworth.
Because
So
you're
you-
confused because he was calling the game, so you were calling him Collingsworth.
Boy,
Chris,
that's a stretch.
all right, I'm sorry. Chris Festa loves when he gets to correct me. It doesn't happen very often.
I mean,
but,
you would harp
yeah.
on either of us
Right.
at,
All right,
at
so,
a second's
I'm sorry.
notice.
Chris Collingsworth
He's a ghoulish looking guy.
was inside.
He is.
You think he's ghoulish?
He's ghoulish
What
looking.
do you mean he's ghoulish?
He's just not aging well.
He's
Who
sinking
is?
into himself.
All right,
So,
Chris Collingsworth was sitting right inside. My friends were looking at him. They waved at him.
They
And,
waved at
hang
him?
on. As
How
well,
weird.
hang on. Listen to
Hi,
this.
Chris.
As Chris Collingsworth and they had all kinds of like paper spread on the table, so they were doing business. He said it looked like that they were going over. They had like
Let's go over to all the players' names.
it looks like they had pictures of the field and everything.
Yeah, that's
It-
called
it-
prep.
I know, but
This is the end zone right here, I think.
I wouldn't think that you do the prep while you're sitting at dinner.
These guys, that's what I told you. When
Well, they
Tom
gotta get-
Brady starts to do this, he's going to be obsessed. He's going to have so much work to do.
Well, here's
They
the
get hookers after dinner, right?
That's all they do.
all
So they gotta
here's-
make time.
Here's the punchline here, folks. So my friends sitting next to Chris Collingsworth on Friday night at Epicurean or what is it, Elevage, they did the gator chop to him
That's right. He
because
went to UF.
he was, I think he was All-American at UF.
Had a way to make him feel even more awkward.
Didn't he have like this unbelievable like touchdown return or something? I mean, he had some kind of crazy return.
Well, he had one moment like Rudy.
Yeah.
No, he was actually an
Anyway.
exceptional college player and got drafted to the NFL.
So here's the deal. So
for many years.
my friends, Mark and Christine and Tom and Giselle, I think that's who they were out with.
Oh, okay.
So they did the gator chomp to Chris Collingsworth, and he did it right back. He waved at them and did the big old
What else is he going to do?
chop right back.
Creepy
hysterical.
people are waving and
pretty
doing
funny.
chomp
All right.
signs to me.
Froggy, let's talk about your cursing explosion.
Can I just eat in peace, Jesus?
Let's talk about you. This is crazy. Oh, and then when we finish with this, we're going to speak with Gina Birch. Gina Birch works for our company down in Fort Myers, and she's a radio personality on Sunny 106, one of our Beasley stations in Fort Myers. And she's going to join us because she's got her eyes and ears, obviously, all over Southwest Florida. And she's going to tell us some of the stories, what's going on. I mean, just it's unbelievable devastation in many areas south of us. First, though, Froggy, you were part of the double curse fest this morning.
Well, I didn't mean to be.
Well, all right, here's the deal. Froggy has a story he wants to tell. There's audio, and it is loaded with cursing. So
It's not a personal story. It's a huge story.
Andrew, our producer, was cursing Froggy because of all the cursing he had to bleep in the audio bites.
Well, I wasn't there cursing, so
All right,
it
now
wasn't my fault.
this story's crazy. This is an absolute insane story. Froggy, this is a fishing tournament in Ohio? Was that where it was?
Yes.
All right, tell me what happened here.
So there's this big fishing tournament, a walleye fishing tournament, okay? $30,000 for the winners. And there are these two guys who have been winners, like they're the champions. You know, they always win.
What the hell's walleye? I've heard of it, but what kind of
It's
fish?
yummy.
It's a freshwater fish.
It's
All
a freshwater whitefish. It's great.
Yeah, and so their names are Chase Kaminsky and Jake Runyon. And they're the champions. They've been the champs for years, but there's been suspicion, you know, other fishermen are like, these guys, their fish are a little heavy all the time. And so there's been a suspicion for years, as I read about the background of these guys.
People have been suspicious that they've been cheating?
Yes.
Somehow?
And even in the audio, you can hear people going, we knew his dad. We knew it for years. So these guys have had suspicion around them for years, okay?
You would think competitive fishing would be kind of random because you catch fish.
Listen, I know that some of these fishing tournaments, some of the prizes are like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Bass fishing tournaments are like $250.
That's insane.
Yeah, those are serious.
For just hooking a fish?
Well, there's more to that than just hooking a fish, okay? There's a lot more to it. It's a science.
All right, so what happened?
So these guys go in to weigh their fish, and their fish, you weigh in 5 fish, and they look like they're about 5 pounds.
So you pick your 5 biggest fish?
Yeah,
Is that how it works?
Pick your 5 biggest fish.
Right.
So they go up there. They had to beat 16 pounds. So another pair of fishermen, they had 16 pounds worth of fish, which means 5 fish equals 16 pounds. These guys bring their fish up, and they look about the same. They're not huge. And the announcer's like, all right, all they got to do is beat 16 pounds. 33 pounds.
What?
Okay.
What?
So 33 pounds goes on, and they're like, and then you hear people in the crowd go, oh, no goddamn way. No way. So people start getting pissed off.
Oh, my
So
God.
the director of the tournament says that he was quoted as saying he grabbed the fish and he felt hard stuff in the belly of the fish.
Wow.
And it was obviously heavier than it looked.
All right, here's the deal. For years, apparently, these 2 fishermen have
I
been
guess
winning.
they've been doing this. Yeah, they've been winning.
So what have they been doing, Froggy?
They've been stuffing their fish with lead weights.
Like the fishing weights?
Fishing weights. Big ones.
But big ones. I saw the pictures.
Egg size. The
They
biggest
were-
ones you can get.
They were jamming these huge lead weights down the mouths into the gullets. Is that right? Gullet?
So they would make a
Sounds right.
4-pound fish an 8-pound fish.
That's a lot. That's a big difference.
Yeah. Also, they
Oh.
would catch other, and this is pretty disgusting. They would catch other fish, walleyes, that would be, I guess, undersized, not
They
tournament
wouldn't
size.
qualify.
Yeah, they wouldn't qualify. So they filleted those fish, cut them up, killed them, and stuffed the fillets in the other fish.
My God.
And you see the guy taking out fillets. He's like, we got filleted fish in here.
All right, so the whole thing unraveled over the weekend, right?
Yes, and it is
All right.
madness.
We have audio here. Now, Andrew, are you sure you got all the bleeping?
No.
No.
What do you
God,
mean?
Andrew.
I mean, playing a bunch of angry fishermen is really risking everything,
All
MJ.
right, let's listen. Here's cut 1.
We got weights and fish. There we go.
So if I can explain that one, the director of the tournament,
That's fishdemonium.
yeah,
It is.
the director of the fish tournament takes a knife, and there's people crowded around. He cuts open the fish,
My
and he goes, "We got weights and fish." He held it up like it was like.
All right, hang on. Hang on.
We got weights and fish. There we go.
My God.
So that's
it's-
when they all found out. Then he starts cutting open the other fish, and that's when it gets.
Everybody listen to me right now. Jake, I want you to leave. I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want you to leave.
That's him telling them to get out of there before they get killed.
I don't want anybody to kick their ass.
Get out of here before you get killed. All right.
You need to go to jail.
Oh, look at that. These guys yelling, you ought to go to jail. Listen to this.
You need to go to jail. Call the cops. Stop.
Okay, I heard we missed one. There was I just dumped it.
My mind heard it, but my ears didn't. I heard.
I don't know if
I think we missed
So
one in there.
call the cops.
Oh
So
my
they're saying, they're thinking back to all the tournaments they lost to these guys.
Yeah.
They've taken
Oh,
hundreds of
money.
thousands of dollars
Oh
over the
my
years.
God.
Every single
And they're all yelling every fish.
I mean, we all do it. What the man?
We
What?
all knew it.
I thought he said we all do it. And I was like,
No,
wait,
we
No,
all
we all
knew
knew
do
it. Yeah.
And the filleted fish. Look at this is a fillet. Yeah. A filleted fish. It's a walleye fillet.
That's
So-
one of the fillets he held up.
So
that
the
he was
small fish, they filleted the small fish and they jammed them into the stomachs of to fatten up the fish. This is
the walleye just
unbelievable.
like,
I
what
heard
are you
it.
putting in my mouth?
I heard in one of the walleye they found actual fillet fish from McDonald's, like
A fillet of fish.
Filet
There's a
fish.
fillet of
That's a
fish.
fillet
I got
fish.
video. You got anything to say?
Do you have anything to say?
How many weights are there?
I mean, it is pandemonium here.
Over a lot of people.
What do you say? You
You
what?
bleeped over a lot of people.
Oh, you
bro.
bleeped.
Over a lot of people.
And he's
My-
just standing there saying nothing, like blank face. Like,
Cheat him, man. He's the you got a boat. You got thousands of dollars.
Oh my
So
God.
to equate this,
This is awesome.
in the fishing world, this is like a Lance Armstrong.
Oh, you know what?
yes,
That is
it
a,
is.
That is
Perfect.
a good analogy. I want to hear the first cut again. This one here.
We got weights and fish. There we go.
Hang him!
seriously.
That is unbelievable.
That's a serious crime. Those guys might get jail time for that.
For
Oh,
what?
they're going to get
Well-
worse than that from the people on the
Well,
fishermen on the street.
And they murdered fish. You can't murder fish.
I realize it's fraud, but I wonder, can they be arrested for?
You should get some serious fishermen to call up.
Man, that is insane.
That's crazy.
What a story out of Ohio. All right, joining us now is Gina Birch. Gina is a personality at one of our company's radio stations down in Southwest Florida in Fort Myers at Sunny 106. Hey, Gina, welcome to the MJ Morning Show here on Q105 up in Tampa.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me on with you.
Oh, Gina. Our hearts break for Southwest Florida. And listen, we were on pins and needles all week. You know, we thought this thing was coming to Tampa. You know, all indication.
too.
Yeah, well, that's part of what I want to talk to you about. So, folks, this is Gina Birch. She's on the radio in Fort Myers. And, of course, the devastation in Fort Myers, especially Fort Myers Beach, is just unbelievable. And, Gina, last week, we thought this thing was coming to Tampa Bay. You guys thought this thing was coming to Tampa Bay. But then, as Dennis Phillips, who's the ABC Action News meteorologist up here, he's the chief, he's dubbed this Charlie 2.0, just like 2004, Hurricane Ian took a turn right into Punta Gorda. First, it hit the barrier island. How do you pronounce? Is it Cayo? How do you
Costa.
say it again?
Cayo Costa.
Okay, so the barrier, and I hadn't heard of that one. I've heard of Boca Grande, obviously, and Sanibel and Captiva. I've been to all the Pine Island. Been to all, but it's Cayo Costa is the barrier island that was hit first. And then, of course, just a quick little skip over to the mainland. And then it rolls into Punta Gorda again. But, Gina, the areas obviously to the south, as we know, storm surge is dynamic to the south. Tell us what's going on. What is the latest out of Fort Myers and Charlotte County and Lee County and Collier? What's going on?
Well, it was deja vu from Charlie. I was here for Charlie, and at first I'm like, this could be another Charlie for us. I really got a little frightened about that, but we all took our pedal off the gas with prep, and a lot of people did not leave the islands. So when this storm, it was really weird about this one because our meteorologists say it's also the angle that the storm came across because the eye went over. It just went over several of our islands. And then we were on the backside, the dirty side of the storm.
Yeah.
And we got, when I say punished, I mean we were punished. 8 hours the storm was pummeling us. And it was, a Cat 4. This was no baby storm. It wasn't just a little.
Well, it was, Gina, it was just a click or to a mile or two under a Cat 5. And listen, Gina, that might be revised. Once the National Hurricane Center does their post-event analysis, it might be actually upgraded to a Category 5. Now, one thing you said, I don't want to get too far away from something you said. You said that we kind of took our foot off the gas as far as prep goes. And we talked about this last week on the show, in that you guys down there in Southwest Florida, just 2 hours south of us in the Tampa Bay area, you guys thought that this thing was coming to us and it was going to be a Tampa Bay event. And I think I've heard this countless times now that the preparation time was much shorter because once they had adjusted the track and they said, no, this thing is probably going to track more into either southern Sarasota, Charlotte County, and then it got revised down to, big effects in Lee County. Technically, landfall was made in Charlotte County. Is that correct?
Well, technically, I believe it was, when the outer band started hitting,
Yep.
they call that landfall. So I believe that was Sanibel. It was Lee County. But the
I think technically when the eye comes ashore, that's landfall. So
Right.
that would be was it Cayo? What is it?
Cayo Costa.
Cayo Costa, and then of course Punta Gorda. That's Charlotte County.
Right.
Just over. So again, back to taking your feet off the gas as far as preparation. Can you give us some examples? What did you see? Was it you personally? Was it everyone around you? Did you just feel the temperature? Being on the air on Sunny 106 down in Fort Myers, did you just feel like the whole area sort of just kind of backed off the prep because they thought this thing was staying offshore until it got to Tampa Bay?
I think it was a combination of everything that you just said, because here's another little caveat to that. Irma came through 5 years ago. Irma was a freaking monster. It was a Cat 4. It covered the entire state.
Yep.
And we were threatened with the storm surge. The meteorologists, people kept saying, we're going to flood. It's going to be up to your eyeballs. This is going to be catastrophic, because that just happened.
But it didn't, because what it did was, and I remember I was on the air actually, and I was on a different radio station back then. It was 2017, and I was on the air that night. And the big but here is you're talking about all of the threats, the storm surge, Gina. And remember, it took a turn at the last minute and went more up the center of the state. And the eye actually went just to the east of I-75, putting you guys in Fort Myers on the cleaner side, and you didn't get the surge.
Exactly. It was a lot different. And so when we heard this time, I mean, it was sheer panic when Irma came. People were losing their minds, and I didn't have that this time. And that's what I noticed the difference of, because they're like, oh, you told us this 5 years ago. We got our butts kicked, but we're not going to have the storm surge. People stayed on the island. I have friends who were here from England on vacation. They're like, that's okay. We'll ride out the storm on Fort Myers Beach. They narrowly escaped with their lives. They were on the second floor, and the water was up to their waist. One of the guys who made it to my house was talking about watching the current, the speed of how things were going by him, so he could time jumping out the window to grab debris to survive.
Oh, my God.
I mean, these stories that we're hearing are just, and the search and rescue is still going. They're still finding people, both alive and, unfortunately, who didn't make it on Fort Myers Beach, on Sanibel, on Pine Island. All these places are cut off.
The bridge, and I've been on that bridge many times, the Sanibel Bridge. It's, the bridge structure over the water, the bridge survived, but the causeway road leading to the bridge, I mean, there are chunks missing. There is there's like a new cut or a pass with water through, part of the land. I mean, we're looking at a long recovery. And Gina, God, there's so much to talk to you about. I want to play an audio bite from last week, and this is your county sheriff, because you're in Lee County, and this is your sheriff, Carmine Marcino, and he was on Good Morning America, and I'm sure you were familiar with this audio bite. Mm-hmm. Let me play this quickly.
What do you know right now about injuries and fatalities, and do you have any sense, any estimate of how many people are left to be rescued?
So while I don't have confirmed numbers, I definitely know the fatalities are in the hundreds. There are thousands of people that are waiting to be rescued, and again, cannot give a true assessment until we're actually on scene assessing each scene, and we can't access people. That's the problem. We're accessing the bridges. We're seeing what's compromised and what's not. And this will be a life-changing event for the men and women that are responding. They're going to see things they've never seen before. So we're going to get together. The Floridians it's a great state. We have great people here, and everyone wants to help.
Fatalities in the hundreds?
So far, confirmed in the hundreds, meaning that we are responding to events.
I mean, this is incredible. So, Gina, what are you hearing? Are you hearing that the toll right now, the last number I saw was 83 confirmed dead. Have you seen a different number this morning?
No, they're being conservative in releasing the information. I know someone who works for the county, and they said they just want to be a little more accurate on the stats, and they don't want to keep having a body count go up every day, because that's demoralizing for all of us.
It is.
But the stories that I've heard of bodies that were found in cars that washed in ditches because they were trying to escaped too late, or literally houses floating in the water that there are people still in them. And I mean, it's just chilling, the stories that I'm hearing from people here on the ground.
You know, Gina, one of the expressions, and I know that you've heard this, I'm sure your meteorologists have said this down there, is you hide from the wind, you run from the water.
Exactly.
And your CBS station down there, Wink, was knocked off the air, the CBS channel, correct?
It was, and I used to work at that station. I'm very familiar with where it's located, and the building is right across the street from the Caloosahatchee River. They've recently remodeled it, elevated some of the areas, and the water just came in. And they all had to go up to the second floor. They had to escape as well.
Gina, what are the things that our audience listening up here in Tampa Bay listen, there's a degree of survivor's guilt here. I'm going to be honest with you, because while we always, when we have something coming our way, we're always like, please don't come here, turn. But of course, our good fortune is obviously somebody else's bad fortune. And unfortunately, it was you guys down there in Southwest Florida again. What do our listeners need to know? What is not being shown on the news, or what little stories or tidbits of either survival or of devastation can you share with us?
I don't know where to start, honestly. The devastation, if any of you, I know a lot of people in your area, and listen, I grew up in Central Florida and Tampa Bay area. I've got so many friends there, and they come here and spend time. Fort Myers Beach was a piece of old Florida. You had these little dens and these great beach bars, and it wasn't all sleek and chic and shiny like Miami. There was it had character, and it's literally washed out to sea. Places that we all spent all these significant memories in our life, they're gone. There's nothing, absolutely nothing left. And there's so many people who are homeless and displaced. You think of the businesses on Sanibel and the islands. Who knows when they're going to reopen? Who knows when anyone's going to come back here and visit this beautiful slice of paradise? We have a lot of people from our area are coming to you for help. They're evacuating. They're relocating. And I hope when this is all said and done, you will send them back to us so we can embrace them again.
We will. Hey, as you know, we've got the national contest here. Let me just mention quickly that this hour's word is create. That's create, CREATE. It's Rock the Cash Box here on Q105. So text the word create nationwide to 45911 before 8:15 for a shot at $1,000 cash, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or myq105.com. So, Gina, have you seen the before and after imagery that was put together by Evan Fisher on Twitter? Have you seen this?
I've seen some of it, yes.
Andrew, did you get this up on mjmorningshow.com? Is it up there? Where is it? Is it on Stories We Mentioned?
Yes.
Okay, folks, if you go to mjmorningshow.com, mjmorningshow.com, and up at the top, Stories We Mentioned on the show, click on that. There is a Twitter link, and it reads, aerial imagery of Fort Myers Beach is now available, and I'm out of words to describe the devastation. If you're still looking for updates on a home in the area, this imagery is a good place to start. Here is what little remains of Gulfview Colony. So that's an area, I guess, on Fort Myers Beach. And it's unbelievable. It's concrete slab after slab after slab where a building once stood. There is nothing but the concrete foundation, the slab at this point.
And that's exactly right. And I have one of my best friend's parents live on the bay side, like they live not on the island of Fort Myers Beach, they live on the other side. We were able to get to their house yesterday. They lost everything. And the devastation when we walked through their mobile home park was just heartbreaking. The smell, trying to dig stuff out of the mud and the water just to save anything, any memento of the life that you had and that you'll never have again there. It was just horrible, just horrible.
What about food and gas? You know, I have the stories here. Publix shelves wiped clean. I'm looking at a story right here that Hurricane Ian photos show completely empty shelves at Publix in Venice. So Venice, this is southern Sarasota County. I'm sure the shopping center destruction, the gas station destruction. What can you tell us about that in Lee County?
Yeah. So in Lee County and in Collier, and from what I know in Charlotte, you know, part of the problem of getting gas and these services is power. We have a massive problem with power outage still. So we've got gas in the pumps, but we can't get them in the cars. We've got, you know, Publix, and they have to throw out everything that's perishable. So when these stores open, they have just the basic supplies. So, you know, we are just slowly coming up to speed. There are a lot of distribution centers that are set up, but if they give you food that needs cooked, you don't have power, you know, It's just like a cat chasing its tail here. And then we haven't even mentioned the folks inland in Arcadia. They're still underwater.
Yep.
Because the rivers are still rising. So there are people trapped there. So this disaster just, you know, gets worse.
I'm just still unbelievably taken aback that the prep time was cut short. And again, I've seen a number thrown around, like in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, Naples, into Northport, for instance. Northport and Venice, they were in the eye wall for hours and hours and hours as well, and they were pounded. The flooding is just such a vast, wide area. But, you know, I've read numerous stories that if you were to come up with a number, that the prep time for Southwest Florida, where you are in the Fort Myers area, that was really kind of cut down to less than a day once they had readjusted the track. And clearly that played a big role in whatever the injuries and death toll are going to end up being.
It did. And then once it all started hitting and people realized, a lot of people tried to evacuate, and it was too late. The waters were rising, and that's where some of this death toll is. And I'm driving around the city and the county, and I see cars and ditches everywhere. And I don't know if they were washed there from a parking lot or if people were then trying to escape. And it's, you know, you look at them and you just wonder what the story is behind the person that owned that car. And speaking of cars, you know, we have tens of thousands of cars that were lost. So now people, even if they survive their home, their car, they're stuck there because they don't have a car. Maybe they lost their car in their home. It's it's just
it's a double whammy. And we can even expand on that. Cars have been in shorter supply because of the supply chain issues and the chip shortage. So now you've got, again, tens of thousands of cars that are destroyed, cars and trucks and SUVs. And this is going to pose an even greater problem down the road. Because, you have people with no homes, no cars, and what's going to happen? A lot of these cars are going to be probably put back on the market, and these flood vehicles are going to curse people in the future.
Right.
So that's also,
no, you're right.
That's another big problem is, look at Katrina and all those cars that ended up being sold. These are cars that are supposed to be salvaged. And they end up being rebuilt by unscrupulous individuals, and they end up being sold, and people have all kinds of problems with these flood cars down the road. Folks, we're on with Gina Birch. Gina is a personality on Sunny 106. It's one of our sister stations down in Fort Myers, part of the Beasley Media Group. And, my brother has a plastic surgery center in Fort Myers. And if I tell you some of the location landmarks, you'll know where he is, because I don't know Fort Myers that well. Obviously I know Tamiami Trail, and, I've done some business down there on a couple of occasions. But my brother, who's based in Fort Lauderdale and Delray, my brother is the principal behind Inspire Aesthetics, which is so my brother, Drew, my real name is Todd Schnitt. My brother's Dr. Drew Schnitt. And he is the founder of Inspire Aesthetics. And they recently opened up their Fort Myers branch. It's a plastic surgery center and all kinds of aesthetics. And they are right next to, I think, Dave & Buster's and Carrabba's. And they said that their building fared okay. They had broken windows in their building, but I don't think they got flooded over there. But the managing partner, the physician, the plastic surgeon, and my brother's partner that manages that place, his home on Fort Myers Beach area, completely destroyed. Absolutely a total loss.
Yeah, I believe it. It's just the stories we're going to continue to hear coming out of here are crazy. And, if you have someone in this area that you can't reach, we were having all kinds of problems with communications, as you could imagine. But I do have a well-being hotline that I would love to share with you.
Yeah, please do.
It's 239-477-1000. 239-477-1000. If you can't reach somebody, you're worried. It might just be because we don't have power and cell service. But just call that number and see if we can get you some help.
All right, Gina, I know you got a roll. You got another interview set up. Listen, we're feeling for you guys. I want to mention the American Red Cross special link that our company has set up. If you go to myq105.com/donate, myq105.com/donate, you can give money to the American Red Cross. And since our parent company is based in Collier County in Naples, all of the money is going to be earmarked for Southwest Florida, Lee County and surrounding counties. Gina, let you roll. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your time. Okay, Gina?
Hey, thanks for your support. We love you. Anything you can do to help is much appreciated.
Listen,
Thanks, guys.
the Tampa Bay area, we're there to help you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye. All right, that's Gina Birch. Gina does the morning show on Sunny 106 in Fort Myers. And again, our stations remained on the air. Luckily, the broadcast facility for Beasley Media Group in Fort Myers survived. And they are now in just wall-to-wall coverage across all of the radio stations, helping the community. But again, folks, do me a favor. I have such a pit in my stomach when I think about this coming toward us and then taking a turn at the last moment. It just, I get serious anxiety. I really do. This bothers me a lot. Do I go into automatic prep mode? Do I go into automatic broadcaster mode when these things happen? Yeah, I've done it since I got here. I got to Florida in 92. I got to the Tampa Bay market in 94. And it's become automatic for me and our team here. But still, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I have serious anxiety. My home is right on the water in South Tampa. And again, we thought this thing was coming right at us.
One of the most powerful things she just said when we spoke with her is when Gina said they're literally sifting through what used to be their life. And you say, well, at least you're alive. But you're talking about when you lose your belongings, your home, that is your old life. It's gone, wiped out. So it's just, I know a lot of our texters have been wondering what they can do to help. And myq105.com/donate is a place to start, but it would be nice if we knew. I wanted to ask Gina that, but I know she had to run. Like other things we can do to help.
Well, right now, help the American Red Cross because they have the resources, they have the ability, they've got the trucks, they've got the trailers, they've got the ability to feed, they have the ability to find shelter for people. So please donate to the American Red Cross. Do it through our link, because then the money goes right to Southwest Florida. When you donate to the American Red Cross nationally, it might be used for disaster relief all around the country. And listen, people need that. But if you go to myq105.com/donate, myq105.com/donate, all of that money will go to Southwest Florida, Lee County, surrounding counties, and the complete devastation that we had just south of us, folks. Just 2 hours south.
I'm on Twitter right now. I'm watching this post by Evan Fisher.
Yeah.
Just the swipe over of what it looked like before and then afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Well, there are multiple swipes. So you're looking at the map. If you scroll down, we can grab that one as well. But there's a swipe that he has of the map that shows dry land and then wetland. And now look at this. Now these swipes, these show Fort Myers Beach before and after. And you just have buildings for blocks and blocks that just don't exist anymore.
It's unbelievable, the damage that this part of the country has suffered, part of our state.
It's truly unbelievable, folks. And again, this could have been the Tampa Bay area. Please help. Send, $10 is the minimum to do online. So minimum is $10, and it's myq105.com/donate. That goes directly to the Red Cross link. But if you go to our link, it guarantees that all of your donations go right to Fort Myers, Lee County, and surrounding counties in Charlotte and Collier and, those inland. That money is going to be earmarked for Southwest Florida and this particular disaster.
I'm watching a picture here of, looks like a trailer park.
Oh, it's just wiped out.
Maybe there's 200 trailers in this trailer park, and every one of them's gone.
Everything. Nothing stands. Just the slabs where the trailers stood. So where's all this material? Where are all the houses? Where are the people? How many people tried to ride this out? I spoke to my neighbor over the weekend, and my neighbor here in South Tampa has a place on Boca Grande. And his place did okay. I'll read a text to you. I asked him about any further recon on your place on Boca Grande. He said, yeah, I have minor damage, but the island is devastated. Oh. So, Boca Grande also just completely just annihilated. Pine Island, Sanibel, Captiva. You look at Fort Myers Beach. The devastation is unbelievable, what we've experienced. Now, the power outages around the Tampa Bay area, then I can get to, and we're going to move on here in a second, but at last count in Pinellas County, they had almost all accounts back on. So almost all customers back online in Pinellas County. As of 6 o'clock this morning, there are only like 18 customers. It was very, very few. So now they've raised it in Pinellas again?
Yes.
All right, so Andrew is saying now Pinellas County, 63 customers. But listen, that is minimal. But Hillsborough County, about 5,000 without power. Pasco County, minimal. Polk County, still like 7,500 without power. You look at Manatee County, though, 37,268 without power. Sarasota County, still 85,500 without power. Hardy... they just had almost 100. Hardy and DeSoto almost had 100% power outages. It looks like maybe half is back, but still enormous outages there. You look at Charlotte County, where Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte is 71,000 without power. Lee County, which is Fort Myers, 281,454 without power. In the county that houses Naples, Collier County, nearly 50,000 without power.
And those are just households. Each household has 2, 3, 4 people living in them, so it's so many more people affected.
None of us lost power, correct?
No, I did not.
Roxy, you didn't lose power.
Nope. Not even first. Didn't even flicker.
Yeah. Truly unbelievable. And I lost power during Irma in 2017. My place was out of power for 4 days.
Right.
How did you do during Irma?
Irma, I didn't lose power either. We had just remodeled our whole house. So I remember thinking, great timing. We're going to get Irma to come in and flood our house. And we just remodeled it.
Froggy, did you lose power during Irma?
I don't think so.
Well, it's only 5 years ago. It's 2017.
5 years ago? I mean, come on. I don't remember 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about your speed. Yeah.
No, during Irma, I did the frozen cup of water and quarter trick in my deep freeze in the garage.
Did you really?
Yeah. You've never heard of that?
Yes, it doesn't work.
We had a listener mention that.
Right. And I heard it when she mentioned it, and I've done it in the past where you freeze a cup of water and then you put a quarter on top. And then if your freezer gets to a temperature where that ice melts, the quarter goes to the bottom. By the time I got back to my house, because I evacuated for Irma, the quarter was in the bottom of the frozen water. And I knew that.
Don't eat the food.
I still ate it. I mean, it's just meat.
Right. Also, I don't know if you saw this, but Fort Myers woman pulled a gun on somebody she thought was cutting the line for gas.
Ooh.
Yeah, everyone needs just to, take a deep breath. It's going to be a tough rebuild time, but This woman down in Fort Myers was arrested by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Actually, this was Fort Myers Police Department. So this Fort Myers woman was arrested because she pulled a gun on a car while she was in line getting gas. The Fort Myers police said that Terry Lynn Johns, 59, pointed a gun at a car with two women inside because she thought they were trying to skip the line to get gas. But it turned out that the women were just trying to make a U-turn in congested traffic. Yeah, this is the behavior that will not be tolerated at any time, much less this state of emergency, according to the Fort Myers Police Department. So this lady Johns was booked into the Lee County Jail on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill and a weapon offense. Cops said, don't be like Miss Johns.
Yeah, that's not justifiable at all, but it gives you a good idea into what people's mindsets are. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a stressful time. And so you don't know what people's behavior is going to be. It's going to be erratic.
Some of the reports are that gas lines are 4 to 6 hours. And, you know, with the number of gas stations that are offline, either destroyed or have no power, no generator, you know, some of the gas lines are 4 to 6 hours. That's an enormous amount of time. And then, of course, we saw that food shelves were bare. We have pictures from Publix locations. You know, here is a photo I'm looking at of a Venice Publix, and there is nothing on the shelf. Absolutely nothing. Zero on the shelf. Guy on Twitter by the name of Michael Kaplan put a picture online on Friday that showed the shelves were just empty. Nothing on the shelves.
I know we've been hearing about all these houses that have sustained awful damage. There's certainly that trailer park and a bunch of people displaced. Has there been any word on businesses that have been erased? I mean, I was thinking there has to be
there's tons of businesses, tons of restaurants and bars and stores have been destroyed. You know, the areas of flooding and storm surge. I mean, it's really it's unbelievable.
You know, I spent some time over the weekend, MJ's, thinking about the last week of broadcasts that we had. And you know, I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, and I'll always say it. I mean, I'm really proud of what we did as a crew, and I'm very grateful to our listeners who took the time to share their experiences, because that's what opens up this whole thing. It opens up this whole dialogue, and you know, to be put in the path of what they're experiencing. I keep going back to one caller we had the day before the hurricane came, and he was in Sebring, and he was in Highlands County, and he kept saying, you know, we really don't have a lot of media that's Highland County specific. Nobody's saying anything about Highlands County.
Yeah.
And I remember we're talking to him, and I said to him, I go, hey man, prepare. You're in the thick of it. And you know, I look at the track, and you know, went through Hardee County, but it really hit Highlands as well. And I keep thinking about that guy who used us as his primary source of news. I mean, you know, we're morons in the news, and we're Hal Herman with the the silly games.
Listen, we do it all. I think our audience knows that. Listen, we like to have fun. Number one is to have fun in the morning, and be our obnoxious, cut up selves. With our twisted take on the world, with our funny crap. But I think our audience knows that when we need to be serious on this show, that we can get very, very serious. And yeah, I'm always ready with the team to just leap into action and do what we need to do to keep our area informed in the event of an emergency, a crisis, an impending storm. And I just hope we're done for the season, but there are still 2 more areas of disturbance that now looks like they could develop. So remember, October can be a very busy time for us here in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, what you guys were talking about, like the texters were so kind. They were giving us so much love for being on air all week like you guys were. I wasn't all week, but, just you felt that even though we like to joke around all the time, that everybody was in that serious come together mode.
Yeah. Whenever something happens, folks, that is always my intention, to serve the community, to just give you as much information as possible. And again, let me just give out the link again. Please donate to the American Red Cross this morning. Look at the devastation. The fact is, if this were the Tampa Bay area, we would really want the help from other parts of the state. And if this had happened to us with this particular storm, I'm sure the people of Fort Myers and surrounding counties, Charlotte and Lee and Collier and DeSoto and Hardee and Highlands and Manatee, I'm sure that all of the surrounding counties would help us. So please, let's help them. And again, if you go to myq105.com, that's myq105.com/donate. So this is the link, myq105.com/donate. myq105.com/donate. That'll take you right to the American Red Cross link. But with our company based in Naples in Collier County, they've arranged with the American Red Cross for all of your donations to go directly to Southwest Florida, to Lee County and surrounding counties for local disaster relief because of Hurricane Ian, instead of going to a national American Red Cross fund. So again, myq105.com/donate. Please, online minimum donation is $10. $10. If you can give more, please give more, because we would want the help from the rest of the state if this were us. So, all right, lightening things up just a wee bit. And when I say we, I mean we.
All right.
What the hell is wrong with Antonio Brown? Did you see now?
Oh, yeah.
He's exposing his junk.
Now, was this in Dubai?
Dubai,
in Dubai. Now, hang on. Let me give you the details here, because I got a couple of thoughts on this. Antonio Brown, who had a troubled time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, slept on Tom Brady's, I was going to say couch, but that old Derek Jeter rental place, which is about to be knocked down, which we told you about that first, folks, back in June, that the new owners were going to level the place. MJ Morning Show with the scoop on that months before the confirmation. But that place had enough rooms. I'm sure Antonio Brown was not sleeping on the couch. I'm sure he had one of the many bedrooms inside that house. In fact, Roxanne, you and Doug might have slept in the bedroom that Antonio Brown.
How about that?
Because you guys slept in that house, I'm sure, numerous times, right?
I mean, not numerous times because we live in Tampa, but if you had too much to drink, yeah.
So you crashed on Jeter's pad a couple of times when he owned it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Antonio Brown, and then he went on to New York. And remember, he quit on the field and took his jersey off? I mean, the guy's a wreck.
How could anyone ever forget?
Does he work for Kanye West now?
I mean, he did for a while.
Yeah, 2 nut jobs, 2 peas in a pod. That's great.
A while? I mean, it was like 3 months ago.
I don't know.
All right, so here's the deal. The latest on Antonio Brown, it looks like he exposed himself to a woman in Dubai at a pool at a resort. So the New York Post, they got a hold of video of Brown that they say was shot in May of this year when he was at the Armani Hotel Dubai, and he was getting a little touchy-feely with a swimmer in the pool. And then apparently Antonio Brown then shoves his bare butt in her face twice.
It's not a good pickup move.
He apparently is completely naked in the water, which is obviously even more, difficult here. But while he's fooling around with the lady, lifts her up, dunks her, swims away. But then some people off camera apparently are like, egging him on to do something. But Brown then lifts his...
Oh, man.
Brown lifts his male
Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
unit out of the pool to flash her.
He lifted it out of the pool.
Froggy, come here and look at the photo.
He's leaning against the back of the pool. It might be a shallow, like a pool deck area.
So he's naked in the water, and he does a complete pelvic thrust to where...
Like he's floating.
Yeah, like he's floating on his back.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know how he's floating, because it looks like he's got 27 pounds of gold chains around his neck.
It looks like he's about to release the sail.
So Antonio Brown is flashing his wang in this pool in Dubai. And the one thought that I have, that's the part of the world where if you're caught stealing, don't they cut a
Yeah,
hand off?
that's what I was thinking.
You
I mean,
get
there's
caned.
So
gotta be dress codes there.
If you flash your wang, do they cut your wang off?
Oh,
Why is he in Singapore?
No,
Dubai.
He's Dubai. He's not in
Why is he
Singapore.
in Dubai?
He's not in Singapore.
Dubai, they behead you. Singapore,
Yeah.
they cane you.
Singapore's nowhere near Dubai.
But still,
I don't another place you don't want to
Yeah.
do
I
that.
don't want to get
Misbehave.
into big trouble in either place.
My God, this guy's out of flipping control. I mean, clearly the guy's not playing with a full
yeah,
deck.
that's. I just always go back with
No.
him.
Did you
Did you
Everything.
say full deck?
Yeah, he's playing with a full deck, all right.
Oh, deck.
I said deck,
Okay, okay.
D-E-C-K.
Oh, wait.
Yes, Pat, I'd like to buy an eye.
He's playing with a full one. And that pool he was. Woo!
Well, it's blurred out. I don't know if he can.
Whoever the pixelator was very generous.
I don't
The
know.
Antonio Brown does not have that mechanism that we all have in our head, that crazy things that we want to do. That control
No, I've
center
never
shuts
wanted
it
to
down.
lean. No, I've never wanted to lean back in a pool and pull out my wang.
Ow.
I've never wanted. No, this is not crazy things we all wanted to do but haven't. No, I've never wanted to do that.
Well, you never been to spring break?
Would
I
you
mean-
hold on? Would you like to share something with us? Something you did like at Lake Havasu or something, or
No.
or Panama City Beach?
I'm thinking more of his tirade that he had on the field when he was, ran off the field, and I'm thinking more about what he tweets about. Like, he does the things that most people say, I'm going to put my mechanism on that makes me not do these things.
No. Most people just aren't crazy. They're just not nuts.
This guy's out of his mind. All right, moving along. But he's lucky he still has his wang intact because that's part of the world where they don't mess around.
Look at them take that and hang it.
Yeah, guy, has he had a mental evaluation? Has he had a checkup from the neck up?
No.
The
You know,
neck down, yes.
You don't think so?
Well, he's had a checkup from the neck down, and he passed.
Flying.
Would
Flying colors.
would you stop being fixated on his crotch?
I know.
It's
What's the problem?
Fester, what's wrong with you?
He just saw the picture, and Fester was like triggered by it because it's,
Same.
it's.
I'm surprised the
it's a
computer had
picture.
that much pixelation.
I
Pixelate.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
It didn't run out.
What is wrong with you guys?
It's just impressive.
All right, moving along. Do you see the two kids that stole the Maserati in
Ugh.
St. Pete?
Yeah. No, was it? Oh,
Maybe
Yeah, was
three.
it-
Maybe three kids. I
Three
don't know.
kids were in the
Three kids,
vehicle
yeah.
in St. Petersburg. Terrible accident.
Yeah.
It's a lot of issues with this story.
First of all, who leaves keys to a Maserati in the car? Who does that? Haven't people learned don't leave keys in your car? That might facilitate the theft of that vehicle a little quicker?
Especially if you have, those are sort of expensive, right?
The cars?
Maserati?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a more expensive. Now, this is an older one. This was, I believe, a 2015. I thought I saw 2015 or 2016. So it's an older Maserati. And still, the person left the keys in the car. So we've got one teenager is deceased, two others injured. And I think I saw that one of the injured teenagers is not expected to recover. So it's probably going to end up being two fatalities in this deal. They stole the vehicle, and they had a crash at a Winn-Dixie in St. Pete. Sheriff Bob Gualtieri had a presser yesterday morning, and he said that they were in the area for a burglary call that was unrelated. And then while they were at that burglary call, these three teenagers were walking, and the chopper up in the air for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office spotted these three teenagers, and the chopper pilot thought they were suspicious. The cop asked, or the chopper asked the police officers on the ground, hey, take a look at this. And while they were investigating, they got into this Maserati near the intersection of 62nd Avenue North and 28th Street, and they took off. You know, the sheriff even said that one of the teenagers used his shirt to open up the door handle so as to not leave DNA or prints. And the owner left the vehicle unlocked with the keys inside. They steal the vehicle. Then they run, and look what happens. The vehicle is a twisted mess. It is bent like a pretzel. The backseat passenger, a 16-year-old, has life-threatening injuries. They don't think he's going to make it. You have the front seat passenger, 15-year-old Mario Bonilla. He died at the scene. The driver is expected to make of this. All happened at 3:30 in the morning. And, yeah, always great when where are the parents? Where are the parents allowing their 15 and 16-year-old kids to run around at 3:30 in the morning?
No curfew in those households.
Just apparently not. 15 and 16-year-olds. And they fled. They were doing at least 80 miles an hour, crashed the car, and look what you have.
And the police weren't giving chase. They saw police.
Yep.
The police did not chase. They had no headlights on.
They ran.
And they ran, yeah.
Yeah, no lights on, and just a terrible story. All right. What else do we have here? It's a lot of stuff today. I want to talk about some candy for a moment.
All right, now you have my attention.
Well, Andrew wants us to grab a call. Yeah, Andrew, what do you have?
I have a gentleman on hold who used to live in Naples and wants to remind people about the animals and wildlife down there.
Oh, yeah, I'll grab that. Hang on a sec. Let me go to line 4. It's Nick. Hey, Nick, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Nick. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, MJ?
Doing well. Thanks for calling. What do you have?
Well, lived in Naples 20 years, so I decided at the time at the radio stations I worked at down there, decided we would ride it out. And we did try and do that. And the only thing that you seem to forget is if you lose power, you lose air conditioning, and the thing is going to get a little nasty. But what's going on down there right now is really, really devastating, and I've seen portions of it, having lived down that way, worked with Gina at Wink as well.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, at Wink, they had these rubber things that went around the outside doors entering, and you'd walk in there every day and you go, what is that? What is that for? And then one day we had a storm coming, and they came and they put these 2-inch pieces of plastic, screwed them on there because we were staying in the building, and that's where their generators were high up in the air.
Gotcha.
Like you pointed out the other day, yours weren't.
Not as high as they should be.
Yes, but then I would ride by those, and they were higher than my car, and I would say, I wonder why those are up there. But that storm answered a lot of questions I had about that building.
Yeah. By the way, Wink is the CBS channel down in Fort Myers, WINK, and you know the nickname is Wink. Yeah. Say it again.
I was on the FM in the afternoon. Gina was on morning.
Gotcha. So you're the radio side of Wink.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right, and I think you wanted to mention wildlife, Andrew said?
Well, yeah, one of the things I've noticed, even on the TV shows, will show these shows where the snakes in previous storms have gotten out, these boa constrictors, and they're thriving down there, and they're huge.
Yeah.
And right now, with all of the other pet shops that have gotten wiped out, of course, that's going to lend to that situation. But my other point is, as people are searching for some of their things, they got to be very careful to not encounter an alligator or something that's there scared as well.
Hey, there was a video of a shark swimming through the streets of Fort Myers. To me, as a scuba diver, it looked like a nurse shark. They tend to be more docile, but who knows what is in the water? And even like people's pets that maybe they weren't able to evacuate with their pets, or people that are missing. Maybe pets survive. I mean, who knows what's out there? It's such a colossal disaster on so many levels. Hey, buddy, thanks for the call. I appreciate you checking in.
Great. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I saw MJ footage of an ant boat where these red ants, who, if they bite you, they sting the hell out of you.
Yep.
But they don't drown when their ant mound gets flooded.
Everything floats.
They float. They make like a web.
Yeah.
So they all float on the water. So there's I saw a group of must have been 10,000 ants just make a cluster floating along these flooded waters.
That's crazy.
But again, the alligators, the snakes, the water, what's in there? Sewage and all the chemicals that are in that water. And there are so many areas that still remain flooded in multiple parts of the states. The Orlando area, we saw that. Central parts, you look at some of the places in DeSoto and Hardee counties and Highlands. I mean, some of the flooded areas, it's not just Southwest Florida. It's not just Venice and Northport and Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda and Lee County and even parts of Naples. It's not just that. It's wide swaths of this county. All right, you ready for candy time here, Fester?
I am.
Couple
I like
of things.
candy.
I saw last week that and I'm trying to lighten things up here for a moment, folks. I saw last week that there was a contest to win a year's supply of candy corn.
Oh, man, that's like...
I mean...
Can I pick any other candy?
Talk about the crappiest candy for a contest for a 1-year supply. I mean, does it get worse than that?
Circus peanuts would be bad.
I bet Mason Dixon's going to enter that. That's his thing.
Is he a candy corn
He
guy?
loves candy corn.
Candy corn is disgusting, all right? Candy corn it's just like gelatinous sugar. There's just nothing to candy corn.
I like it. And, and you know what I like to do? I like
listen.
to eat each flavor by itself, or
Listen.
each color.
So you eat in 3 bites?
Yes, I do.
Let me tell you right now, not only would I be disinterested in a 1-year supply of candy corn, I am disinterested in a 1-minute supply of candy corn, let alone a whole year. And then I also saw this. This is why a little bit of candy corn talk, and then I'm going to actually get into the larger candy discussion in just a second here. But candy corn is being recalled in parts of the Northeast.
Lucky.
Yeah. Packages of Halloween's listen, this is the actual story. Packages of Halloween's least loved treat, candy corn, were recalled in parts of New England because they may contain undeclared eggs.
Ew.
Ooh.
Like eggs of what? Like quail or
I'm thinking in the
turtle eggs?
I'm thinking in the mix. Maybe they use egg whites.
Yuck.
Is that like an emulsifier? I guess.
So
some of the candy corn are being recalled.
Oh, I'm thinking of like spider eggs.
No.
Okay, so it's not mixed in. He just didn't put it on the label. So these are perfectly fine candy corns.
So-
They're just not labeled correctly.
But I was just disgusted. Who wants to win a year's supply of candy corn?
How much could you possibly eat in a year?
It's just
Even
like
if you loved it.
it's like eating sugar cubes. There's just no
Teeth will kill you.
Yeah, your teeth will all fall out, and then you could get like candy corn teeth. You could just you'd have
jam,
your supply
the
and
candy
you
corn in as
jam
your
it up in there.
teeth.
Yes.
All right.
Did they get the pumpkins? Do they come too? Because those are
Candy
bad.
corn are the worst. All right, that's number one. Okay, now the other more serious candy story is officials around the country,
Yes.
as we're in October here, folks. Of course, Halloween is at the end of the month. So Halloween is less than 30 days away. What is today, October 3rd?
Are you going to say that somebody is saying that there's a candy shortage this year?
No.
All right.
Why don't you just wait for it? Just hang out.
I am.
Be patient.
I'm here.
So with Halloween around the corner, we're getting these warnings already about police departments, hospitals, drug overdose centers and hotlines. The warning from officials is be weary and wary. Be warned of potential fentanyl contamination, because now some of the candy that's out there is not candy. You know, we've seen those little packages, and we've seen like the rainbow fentanyl. That's sort of a problem. So now officials are warning us that drug traffickers are now deliberately packaging deadly fentanyl pills disguised as candy. I think I saw what looked like a Skittles package.
Yeah, Skittles.
Yeah,
Big
with
one.
you know, and their expression or their slogan is "Taste the rainbow," right? Skittles, and now you get this rainbow fentanyl. So now the concern is everyone needs to be on alert. Make sure that the candy that you get for Halloween is not the fentanyl. Like,
what a pain.
Like we don't have enough to worry about. Now, I got to be honest. I think this is probably on the lower end of the scale of what you probably need to worry about. And do you know, going back to 1958, and this is interesting, going back to 1958, do you know how many kids were poisoned by candy?
One.
With stats going back to 1958, how many kids were poisoned by candy or were injured, killed, whatever?
Or stabbed by a little needle? I'd say one.
Yeah, got a razor blade and an apple. Yeah, all the
That's
horror
old school.
stories. Yeah, that's all. 1958. All the horror stories we've heard about as kids.
Yeah, take this apple, little boy.
I read a story about tainted candy, and there's a tainted candy researcher.
Okay. He must be fun to go on a date with.
Yeah.
What do? I research tainted candy.
So So this is crazy. The tainted candy researcher says that they have data going back to 1958 through 2021. So 1958 to 2021, and guess what?
None of them.
Zero.
Zero, yeah.
Zero. They cannot find any evidence that any child was killed or seriously hurt by any contaminated candy during trick-or-treating.
But every year they come out with something like this. Beware of candy that looks suspicious.
But that's a little bit reassuring that here's a candy tainting expert that says that from 1958 to 2021, they can find zero bupkis, nothing. Not one case of a kid being poisoned, injured, killed with tainted Halloween candy.
So it's the Halloween candy, but other candy that's happened before.
Okay.
Right?
What do you mean?
Like St. Patrick's Day. Or not a holiday.
What candy do you mean on St. Patrick's Day?
Yes, because we all go door to door for St. Patrick's Day. Hello.
Hello, look at the Irish here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Trick or treat.
There's not even a green candy.
I mean, if you would have said Easter, that's another candy holiday.
What are you saying over there?
I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever had poison peeps.
Easter Peeps poisoning. Oh, the Great Peoria Peeps poisoning back in 1997.
Hypodermic needle in this Cadbury egg.
Somebody called a candy tainting expert.
It turned out it was the teal Peeps. That was the one. It was the teal one that got all poisoned up good.
My selection of St. Patrick's Day is because it's not a day that we eat candy, but kids might be eating a lollipop that has fentanyl in it.
Arbor Day. Arbor Day. They don't give out little tree candies. They should.
Anyway, so zero proof of any kid being poisoned ever.
But did they have any evidence of candy that had been tampered?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
Oh.
Gosh.
Now, we've heard stories over the years that there have been like packages that there was some suspicions, but it's not a big deal. It's sort of just an urban legend about all the poisoning and the tainting and bring all your candy to the dentist's office to get x-rayed or to the hospital. That's been a thing.
There's going to be one dentist in town on November 1st trying to get free publicity.
All right. You got the MJ Morning Show on Q105. And with October here, next, you're not going to believe what's now pumpkin spiced. You know what? I want to scream. When I saw this, I want to scream. The latest thing that's been pumpkin spiced, this is ridiculous. And then also, I got a scam alert. I got a scam alert involving a glam rocker. Glam rocker?
You have a glam scam?
I have a glam. There it is. It's a glam scam coming up. That and a whole lot more all next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. We are back in minutes. Don't move. 8:54. Want to grab a call here quickly. Miguel is on the line. Let me grab Miguel. Miguel, you're are you in Seffner? Is that where you are?
Yes, sir. Out here in Seffner area.
All right. Now, Miguel, you had a tree fall on your mobile home, making it uninhabitable. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right. And then power lines were down and the tree just sliced right through your mobile home.
It just crushed the whole side. It's really unlivable right now.
All right. And then
it's not sitting on the trailer is no longer sitting on its support beam.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and then the trailer park that you're in, I want to address this because I have some of the information, but the trailer park you're in is without power, and how many people did you say are without power right now?
At least 6 units, and they have kids. I mean, I'm a grown man. I can at least fend for myself a little bit, but kids, we got to worry about these kids.
No, I know what you're saying, and we've addressed this, but I wanted to bring this up. You mentioned 6 trailers are without power out in Seffner. What road are you off of in Seffner?
Taylor Road.
All right, so the deal is that, listen, they want to get all the customers back up as quickly as possible because the power companies make money when that meter is spinning. So they want to get everyone back online as quickly as possible. But what happens is it's got to be upstream. So they have to work on everything that's upstream first, and they prioritize because generally it's the larger infrastructure that might be feeding some of the lower infrastructure, and it's always the need to get the most customers online first. So that's the priority. That's how they operate. So I don't think that the power company, I'm sure it's Tico out there, they're not dissing you guys, with 6, mobile homes out there. They just have to prioritize and get the most customers. If they've got a repair crew that can get 300 people back online, that's where they are. And then that's how they prioritize. So, Miguel, I wish you the best and just hang in there, buddy, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, but the power will be back on. But again, if they can go somewhere else to kind of ride things out, that's what they want to do. And Miguel, have you found a different place to stay because of the tree through your mobile home?
Well, actually, I'm staying at a friend's house. We're trying to scrape up money right now so we can get a tent so we can stay in his backyard because he has other people to stay in with him.
Wow.
So it's just like we're trying to get what we have to get together so we can keep moving forward so we can
listen, I got you. I understand. Miguel, let me put you on hold. Andrew says we have your number, so hang on. Let's see if we can, give you the right direction and give you some help. Okay?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Miguel. Thanks for buzzing in. You look at the utter devastation down in Southwest Florida, but a lot of people were affected right here in the Tampa Bay area. Now, minimally, and people that were without power for a day or 2 or 3, or even people that are going to have power for or power outages for an extended period of time. All I would say is, listen, I was without power for 4 days back in 2017 with Irma, and I'm not going to bitch and moan and complain about my power being out when I look at utter and sheer devastation. I get a story from my brother, for instance, whose partner, a plastic surgeon at my brother's plastic surgery center down in Fort Myers, and the managing surgeon at that center, his home is destroyed. It is gone. And they were just trying to salvage anything. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape out of, power. Those are just my thoughts.
No, but Miguel has a much different situation where his house is
ruined.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying Miguel. I'm just pointing out that in the Tampa Bay area, there are still other stories of people that were affected. His home is destroyed. He's got a tree in the middle of his home. So we're going to get him some information, some resources, try to help him out. But for those that just have power out, that's a minor inconvenience compared to what our friends down south are going through in Fort Myers and northern Naples and into Charlotte County and even Venice and Northport and through the center of the state, Wauchula, Arcadia, some of the spots that are just still underwater. It's unbelievable. So please just bear with the fact that the power companies, trust me, are trying to get the power on as fast as possible.
Driving home on 275, MJ, where the old Tampa dog track is, That's a staging area right now for hundreds of vehicles, not emergency vehicles, but like electrician vehicles.
So you're talking about on where's that,
Northbound
Sly? So 275 and Sly?
The same place where we went to get vaccinated a couple of years ago.
That's where I got my vaccinations right there. I got the vaccination 1 and 2 in like the MASH tents in the parking lot of the old Greyhound track.
But now it's a staging area for electric vehicles and tree trimming vehicles. So they're out there. They're working as quickly as they can.
Listen, the effort is going to be long. In the Tampa Bay area, we're going to be back to normal in like a day from now.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
We're going to be back to normal in like probably 24 to 48 hours. It's going to be years. You look down in Fort Myers, and it's going to be years. So, folks, please, 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 we would expect them to help us in their time of need. We need to help them in Southwest Florida, in Lee County, in Collier, in Charlotte counties. You've got southern Sarasota. You've got flooding through DeSoto and Highlands and Hardee and, a bunch of these counties in the middle of the state. So here's a link. Please donate to the American Red Cross through this link, which is our company working with the American Red Cross. Our company, Beasley Media Group, we're based in Naples. That's where the corporate offices are. So they've teamed up with the American Red Cross. When you use our link, all of the money goes to the American Red Cross, but it gets filtered even more. And if you use our link, all of your donation money stays in Florida. It stays for the affected areas in Lee County and surrounding areas where the hurricane hit, where Ian slammed into. Go to myq105.com/donate. That's myq105/donate. So myq105.com. It's very simple. Go to myq105.com/donate and just give $10. That's the minimum online donation, $10. You can afford $10. And it's all going to the American Red Cross for use here in Florida. It's all targeted to Lee County and surrounding areas where they were just devastated. myq105.com/donate, and that goes right to the American Red Cross donation page that we've set up with the American Red Cross. 100% of the funds, and it's guaranteed this money stays right here in Florida. That's important. myq105.com/donate. All right, you ready? The Glam scam.
All right. Now, you said this has to do with a rocker?
Yep. But listen, this is a broad story. Now, this happened in Pennsylvania, but these scams, these happen everywhere. And then, I'll be able to morph into the scams that are going to pop up because of the hurricane. Now, we're going to be seeing scams all over the state. There are going to be tons of good people. There are more good people out there than bad people. But guess what? The bad people are already moving in to take advantage of the hurricane situation here in Florida. I'm telling you that right now. All right, here's the deal. Police in Lancaster County in Pennsylvania say that a woman lost more than 10 grand in an online scam where the suspect was posing as the lead singer from a very popular, very well-known glam metal band. Now, when you think of glam metal, what are the bands that you think of when you think of glam metal?
Motley Crue. Wait, Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Froggy, why do you turn your mic off?
Something over here. There's something wrong with my mic.
Yeah.
I think of
I think there's something wrong with you, actually.
I think those like late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, yeah. You mean not like Motley Crue?
No, but other bands.
No.
Is it Motley Crue?
Yeah, it's not Motley
Okay.
Crue, but
Okay, but that's
Motley
the-
Crue is an absolutely valid guess.
Okay,
so like Guns N' Roses.
That's another.
Okay.
You're in the right genre. So
Poison.
White Snake.
hang on a minute. Hang on. Let me. Oh, stop. Let me
Who's
give
the
more.
band that sang Apple Pie or Cherry Pie?
That was Warrant.
Warrant.
She's my cherry
Yeah,
pie.
right?
Okay, who sang Apple Pie?
That was Cherry Pie.
That was me at the buffet.
That was Bobby Brown in there, right? Yeah, the female Bobby Brown, not the.
Yeah.
And then you got the one from Stranger Things. What was it? Millie Bobby. What is it?
Millie Bobby
Brown. Whatever the. All right. So here's the deal. We have a victim who told police that she believes she was in direct contact with a singer a very well-known lead singer for a popular glam metal 80s rock and roll band. So the victim told the cops that she thought she was sending the money to the singer.
Can I guess?
And used a cash exchange app. So the police is reminding citizens to make certain they're dealing with who they think they're dealing with when making an electronic transaction. If there is doubt, do not transfer the money. If the situation is too good to be true, it's very likely a scam. Now, the police department did not identify the singer that the scammer was impersonating.
Oh.
But in the press release from the police, they did.
They said the band.
Well, nope, they did not. They used some song titles and lyrics. Exactly. So in the press release, and this is clearly the dead giveaway here, the police up in Pennsylvania said, remember, every rose has its thorn.
Come on.
So cheesy.
When accepting these high-risk money transfers. Yeah, they could have also said, if you send money, you get scammed, it's going to be anything but nothing but a good time.
So it's
Right?
obviously Axl Rose.
That's not too wordy at all. Right? It's going to be anything but nothing but a good time.
Nothing but a good time, and every rose has its thorn.
And stage fell on my face.
That's true. The lighting ring.
That was Bret Michaels.
It was. Right.
Yeah, that's the lead singer of
Who do you
Poison.
think the lead singer of Poison is?
I thought it said, Axl Rose?
No, Froggy was
I
joking
was
when he
joking.
said Guns N'
Hold on.
Roses.
Who do you think the lead singer of Poison is? It's Poison. It's every
He didn't
rose
know
has
it
its
was
thorn.
Poison.
Nothing but a good time.
I
Talk
thought
dirty
it
to
was,
me.
I thought it was Guns N' Roses this whole time. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's not Guns N' Roses.
All right, so
It's every rose has. Wait a minute.
Every rose threw them off.
Did you think that Guns N' Roses did every rose has its thorn?
admittedly, glam band stuff isn't my favorite.
They didn't write in the press release, "Don't you cry when you get arrested."
Right.
In this cold November rain.
Exactly.
Nice.
Or that $10,000 could have been better served with your sweet child of mine. or if you fall for a scam, it's sort of like welcome to the jungle.
Okay.
Dude,
I'm really confused right
what
now.
are you confused with?
Who's saying Sweet Child of Mine?
That's Guns N' Roses.
What Poison sing?
They did nothing but a good time. Every rose has its thorn. Talk dirty to me.
All this crap is so interchangeable. I typed in glam bands into Google, and 48 different bands popped up.
Let me
Yeah,
see
there
this.
was a few of them.
But there's so many sucked. I've
so-
never heard of half of these
All right,
bands.
Google has a whole list of glam metal
Would
bands.
Cutting Crew be a glam band?
No.
What?
Cutting
Cutting
Crew.
Crew.
I just died in your arms tonight.
I didn't know if they were glam band cuspy.
It's not
They're
rock.
not even close to that. No, they're not glam metal.
Is Michael Bolton a glam band rocker?
Yes. How about Julio Iglesias?
What about Great
Julio Iglesias.
Was he glam metal?
All right, so Google came up with a bunch. I typed in glam metal band back when I didn't know who it was. And
All
I
right,
still am
so
not sure.
here's the list, man.
Name them. I'll tell you if they're good or if
There's
they're
a
bad.
massive list here of glam metal bands: Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, Quiet Riot.
Yep.
Come on, feel the noise. Pantera,
Wait, Pantera's not glam metal.
Pretty Boy Floyd, Slaughter. You got Scorpions, you got Poison, Bon Jovi, Warrant, Whitesnake, Cinderella.
What about Kiss?
What about the band that caught the fire?
Yeah, Kiss is on it. That was Whitesnake. No.
White Rain?
Great
White.
White. Great White. Yeah, there you go.
White Rain is a hairspray.
Oh, the fire in Rhode Island. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was the big Great White song?
Oh, that's a good one.
One spitting twice shy.
Yeah,
No,
one-
there's another one too, though. That's good.
They had a couple of hits, but yeah, they're on the list as well. So you got Aerosmith, Cinderella, Wasp, LA Guns, Britney Fox, Europe is on the list. Rat, Round and Round. You got Twisted Sister, Kiss, Dokken. Faster Pussycat, Winger. Remember Winger, White Lion?
About Golden Earring.
Yeah, Firehouse. So that's an example of some of the glam, and some of those toward the end, they're a little less glammy, rocky, metally. But,
Save Your Love is the best Great White song.
that's true.
That was their big.
That's right.
Save Your Life.
Yeah. Save Your Love.
Mhm.
That was like 1987 or 88. That was a big hit.
Yeah.
Anyway, who thinks that Bret Michaels from Poison needs 10 grand? Why would someone fall for a scam and think they're actually communicating with Bret Michaels from Poison, and then Bret is in desperate need of $12,000 or $10,000? Why?
The guy still tours.
I spent all my money on bandanas
In wigs.
I need 10K.
Well, the wigs are tied into the bandana, sort of like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
They use the same wigist.
By the way, Bret Michaels is one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to
With
meet.
the worst luck ever.
He doesn't have
He
a lot
has
of
some
good luck.
pretty good luck.
Does he?
Yeah.
I mean, he has. Why don't you go down the list of things that have happened to Brett, what's his name? Breast Michaels? Brett Michaels.
I think Breast Michaels might have been his nickname in the tour bus for years over there.
Look, at the end of the day,
The guy had a lighting fixture fall on his face on national TV.
again, at the end of the day, it's a win. I mean, okay.
He has a heart murmur. He has brain aneurysms. He has diabetes.
He almost died.
He has children he doesn't know about in 46 states. I mean,
He
he's
almost
had
died.
a pretty
He almost
good life.
died last year. He almost
Listen,
dies every year.
He almost died.
We're all gonna.
Okay, so you're saying in the game of life, even with all of his bad luck,
Look.
his like poison fortune and being a glam rocker, that outweighs the bad luck?
Would you rather have
probably
your
right.
health?
I mean, Froggy, would you rather be like some mid-manager produce in the produce section of a supermarket, or would you rather be Bret Michaels?
Do I have to have a
Well, hold on.
wigged-
Would you rather be a mid-manager with no health issues or lighting rigging falling on your face at a
Yeah.
concert?
Let me think about that.
And like 40 girls next to your bus waiting for you to walk back to it.
That's all you care about, isn't it?
That's about it.
Sex.
That's
it.
If I could trade this life in.
Are you living vicariously through just the thoughts?
Well, you need a bandana and a wig.
I'm just saying, there's a better life to be had, and Brett's lived most of it.
I think Bret, yes. If you had like the scales of justice,
He's had a pretty good.
if you had an actual scale and you put all of Bret's bad luck on one side and the good luck and fortune on the other side, it would probably, yes.
Look, and he deserves it. He totally worked for it. I mean, it's his.
Remember that TV show where all he did was sleep with women, like every episode, Rock of Love? Or
Oh, yeah.
That's all he did.
Tough. All right, Brett, we need you for a TV show. I'm in. All you're going to do is sleep with women.
Okay.
All right. Dude, I'm there.
Deal.
Yeah,
Deal.
Done.
He's actually, you know what? I love the guy.
He's a nice, listen, I've met him several times over the years.
He's a klutz, but I love him.
He was actually at one of the Def Leppard concerts downtown at, I don't think it was Amelie back then. It was probably the Ice Palace or the St. Pete Times Forum or something. But I ran into Bret Michaels backstage at a Def Leppard concert, and he was there. I don't know if he was part of the open. I can't remember.
Can we watch the stage fall on him?
He was such a nice guy. Even Michelle. Hold on. Michelle hasn't been on in a while. Hold
I got to
on.
watch the video of this lightning falling on him.
Let's not forget Bret Michaels' biggest achievement, winning Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice.
He was good.
He was.
That's right.
That's right.
Trump started a new bandana line thanks to him.
It's 9:12. I think this is a reasonable time to call Michelle. Hey, sweetie.
Yes.
Good morning, my princess.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
That's my favorite wife in the world.
Favorite? Why? There's others?
Yeah, really.
Weird.
In Saudi Arabia.
Many others.
No. Hey, how nice was Bret Michaels when we ran into him backstage at that Def Leppard show in downtown Tampa?
So nice and so hot.
Like the temperature or the men?
What'd you say? Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was so incredibly nice, and the thing is that he actually remembered you from like the 80s.
He did. He
You were,
remembered.
like,
He remembered my radio. He remembered the call letters of the radio station that I was on, and I said, "Hey, Bret, I met you back in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News, back in the late '80s when you guys had Look What the Cat Dragged In. I think that was the name of that album that had all their big hits on it. Talk Dirty to Me and what." I don't know if Every Rose Has Its Thorn. That came later on. But when I said, yeah, I met you back in like 1987 or 1988, he's like, yeah, you were on WGHFM. You were the night guy. I'm like, what?
And then he thanked you for playing all their songs.
Yes.
I mean, he was so personable and appreciative.
Yeah. He remembered me and the radio station, and I was the nighttime DJ. He's like, man, you guys played the hell out of our music. I was like, yes, we did. And I'm like, how does this guy remember the call letters of the radio station I was on in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, back in 1987?
Because you wanted to sleep with your wife.
Yeah. He had some hot recall of everything. I'm going to remember everything about this guy to move one step closer to that one.
All right. Michelle, I just wanted to check in so you could reaffirm that Brett Michaels was unbelievably nice.
Incredibly kind and, just personable and nice and hot.
Absolutely. All right, Michelle. See you in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I think
It's pretty nice.
Can we watch him get smashed before we talk?
Dude,
Stop talking?
come on.
Does
Does this have audio?
Yeah. Put the audio up on your side.
All right. So where was this?
This is during the Tony Awards where
What
you can
year?
really.
Oh, that's right. So he's on stage. It's kind of
That's not as bad as I thought it was
The
going to be.
audio still sucks. But
kind of visual, Froggy. You can't.
He got smashed.
okay, as he's
There's no noise like.
That could have gone along with it,
What
though.
we just played was totally visual.
That's an example. What a klutz.
Stop. Can you explain it for the radio listening audience? What happened, Froggy?
This whole center lighting unit comes down. It was like
Clotheslined
it
him.
was being deliberately lowered, and it clocks
Yeah, clotheslined him.
It clocks him on the head. No, it's not clotheslining.
No, because it didn't-
clotheslining is when you get like
It flipped him backwards and smashed his head.
Yeah, because look, it doesn't. Watch.
He's
watch,
such a
watch,
klutz.
watch. There it goes. Boom. See, clothesline.
It bonked him. It's not a clothesline. By definition, it's
He's
not
like
a
he's
clothesline.
alive.
It's a bonk.
that is it looked like a Toyota was dropped on his head or
He is
something.
such a klutzy boy.
It's not his fault.
Oh my God.
He's on stage performing at the Tony Awards.
He's in the moment.
And the morons dropped the big stage rigging on his head. They were lowering it. What song? Do we know what song? Roll back. What song was he doing? Roll back a little bit.
Ready?
Not the whole thing.
It's only 2 seconds.
Go ahead. Here we go.
Every race has its thing.
It's just the end of the song. It might be Nothing But a Good Time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Was that Nothing But a Good Time? Roll it back to the beginning again. Right here.
Yeah.
I think it was Nothing But a Good Time. And then here comes the stage. Oh, and just whacks the guy in the head.
I wish they let this
Poor
mic
guy.
on.
He was performing at the Tonys because of the musical Rock of Ages,
Oh,
which
yeah.
a lot of classic rock, which I guess it wasn't classic rock at the time, was featured in.
No, I think it was still somewhat classic rock. All right. Now, I am so sick of pumpkin spice.
Oh, no, not this again.
I don't know.
It's here. You can't escape it for the next.
Did you
couple of
see
months.
there's new pumpkin spice toilet paper from Charmin?
Dude, that feels so good.
Because your butt is asking for pumpkin spice.
Did you know if you use that, you could actually taste it sometimes?
So yesterday I was traveling through.
not true.
Or on Saturday I was traveling. through,
It's also not true. There's no pumpkin spice. Don't go to the supermarket looking for pumpkin. Hey, I heard on the MJ Morning Show there's pumpkin spice Charmin. No, there's not.
Get the orange ones right there.
I just made that up. But hold on to your story. Let me finish up here. So, pumpkin spice is just obnoxious. And everything pumpkin spice, pumpkin spice, pumpkin spice. It's Starbucks with their pumpkin spice crap. All right. So I'm not making this up. It's going to sound like I'm making it up, but I'm not making it up. Is this true? I mean, I had Fester, I did a quick little search and it came up.
Then that would lend it to be true.
Hefty Trash Bags has a cinnamon pumpkin spice scented trash bag.
Yum.
Come on.
What's the matter with that?
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Hefty.
Wimpy, wimpy.
Pumpkin spicy. I mean,
Not stinky.
really?
Is that going to conceal the odor of the poopy diapers I put in the trash bag? I mean, how much can it possibly do?
Are you kidding me? I'm not making this up. Limited edition, hefty cinnamon pumpkin spice, ultra strong trash bags.
A lot of trash bags already have a scent to them, whether it be like a Febreze scent or a Downy scent. I've seen that.
Is that Febreze noise? What is that? Yeah, that's the Febreze noise.
How did I know that so quickly? But
because you use Febreze as a body odor
that is true.
Deodorant
cover up.
It's called deodorant.
Yeah.
I use Febreze like other men use Axe.
Yeah. So for Fester, most people use Febreze to just make the room or the house smell a little better. Fester empties a can of Febreze on him about twice a week.
I got no problems with that. And they have a pumpkin spice Febreze, by the way, which I'm avoiding.
No, they don't.
Yes.
Do they really?
It's like a cinnamon pumpkin spice scent.
All right, that would actually make more sense than the trash bags. But Hefty has a limited edition Hefty cinnamon spice trash bag. That is nuts. I'm sorry.
I like the smell of cinnamon. You know those stupid looking brooms they sell every Christmas? Like those brown wooden brooms that they sell in the grocery store? I'm a sucker for one of those brooms once every 3 or 4 years.
cinnamon ones?
Yeah, I'm a sucker. I don't mind the scent of cinnamon. All right.
Gives me a migraine.
Look, everything gives you a migraine.
But why
Dude, just living gives you a migraine.
Seriously.
Why do you buy scented brooms, wicker brooms?
It's the dumbest.
What an ass.
It's like I'm a hobbit from like the 1400s. It's like a wooden bristle twig broom.
When did Roxanne leave the room? I didn't even see this.
In the
Just
middle.
right now.
When did you leave?
Right after I did the Febreze jingle, dun 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 dun, and Roxanne's
outta
like,
here.
"I'm out of here. Screw this."
What do you got to deal with
Well,
now?
I had a miscommunication. Doug called me, and I was like, I'm on air, and he said, call me. And I thought he meant like right now. So I called him back, and he's like, is the governor in Tampa? He said they like a procession.
You left the room. All right, now here's.
I thought it was an emergency. But he is the governor in Tampa? He's going to send me
No.
footage, but he said there's like this biggest procession he's ever seen.
Hold on. Where was it on the Veterans Expressway?
I know what it is.
What it is?
Yes, I
is
just
it's-
figured it out.
It's the
It's the funeral
Yes.
for the fallen deputy in Pinellas County, which we'll get into in just a second. So that's probably why the governor is in town. So hold on to that thought for a minute because we'll give you the full details because today is the funeral for the fallen Pinellas deputy who was killed on 275 South right here near MLK and Ulmerton. So hold on. We'll get into those details next. Folks, I want to remind everyone again, please make a donation to the American Red Cross. If we had Hurricane Ian hit here, you know that the people of Southwest Florida, you know that Naples and Fort Myers and Charlotte County and all of the other counties, they would step up to help us. We need to step up as Floridian neighbors, Florida strong. We need to help the people of Southwest Florida. And our parent company, Beasley Media, has teamed up with the American Red Cross. And through our link, all of the money you donate to the American Red Cross is actually pinned right in Southwest Florida. So Lee County and the surrounding areas really smacked by Hurricane Ian. All of the money you donate stays right in the hurricane areas in Southwest Florida. So please go to myq105.com/donate. That's myq105.com/donate. And it goes right to an American Red Cross link. You can put it on your credit card, your debit card. Do us a favor. Make a donation. Just $10 is the minimum. You can give whatever you want. I've had people email me saying, hey, MJ, I just gave $500. I saw another one this morning. Hey, MJ, thank you for the link. Just gave $250. So do us a favor. Do our friends a favor. Let's help the people of Southwest Florida. Go to myq105.com/donate and donate to the American Red Cross. And when you go through our link, you know that money is going to stay in the hurricane-ravaged areas of Southwest Florida. myq105.com/donate. Look at the destruction down there. Look at the help they need. And the American Red Cross has a lot of resources to help people out. myq105.com/donate. Now, when it comes to your money, MJ with Froggy and Fester, Roxanne, 9:32 on a Monday in the home stretch here of the Monday program. You know, I want to grab a couple of phone calls here, sort of the aftermath if you're still without power or if your power was just recently restored here in the Tampa Bay area. Where are you? Also, are you down in Northport? Are you down in Venice? So let's grab a couple of reports. 800-990-1047. Are you still without power? Are you still in our listening area without power? Again, I know it's very inconvenient, but look at what's going on down in Fort Myers, northern part of Naples, and look what's going on in Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, Fort Myers Beach. Look at the barrier islands that, you have just building after building erased. It's unbelievable. Venice, Northport that I mentioned. I mean, the flooding that's going on, even the Orlando area, central counties, just terrible. Rox, you had a list of things that people need.
Yes, a friend of mine, he's also my neighbor, so he sent this from Collier and Lee County. The people sheltering at the Hertz Arena are in desperate need of donations, blankets, clothes, socks, stuffed animals, dog and cat food, air mattress, all kinds of stuff. And people are arriving by helicopter with nothing but the wet clothes on their back.
These are the evacuations. These are the evacuations from places where people could not get out, where there's still floodwaters, and they have to be rescued by chopper. They have to be evacuated by either police helicopter, Coast Guard helicopter, National Guard helicopter. This is crazy what's going on. And you have lots of people that are seeking shelter in the Hertz Arena down there. And listen, if you could help folks, the American Red Cross is coordinating a lot of this. There are going to be dozens of organizations. But again, please make sure you know the organization that you're donating money to, because the scam artists are going to come out of the woodwork. Also, the scam artists that will say that they'll rebuild your house or fix damage. Roofing scams are a big deal. In the aftermath of a hurricane, you have a lot of unscrupulous individuals. It is so sick and sad that people will try to take advantage of people that have already had their lives turned upside down. It is sick. It is sad. All right, let me grab some phone calls here. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. That is how you get in. Just want to hear about any of the aftermath from last week. Things are starting to get back to normal in the Tampa Bay area. Damage that you might have suffered locally. Are you in an area that still is without power? Or was power restored over the weekend? Give us your story. Where are you? Or any other observation. If you're south, if you're in Northport, Venice, or even points further south, or if you have friends that were affected by this, want to hear your stories. Let's go. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Also, of great importance today is the funeral for Pinellas County Deputy Sheriff Michael Hartwick, who was killed by the construction worker. Technically, it was like hit and run what happened, because he fled then with the front end loader, and he was an illegal alien. You had the other guy that tried to hide his hard hat and vest. He was also hired illegally, apparently. I'm sure there's going to be a hell of an investigation there. But a massive, massive funeral and procession this morning. And you might have seen it. The motorcade started at the intersection of 49th Street North and Roosevelt Boulevard, and then traveled north across the Bayside Bridge, across the Courtney Campbell, north on the Veterans Expressway, and then exited onto Dale Mabry, and then continuing on Dale Mabry to the exciting Idlewild Boulevard, and then into the church parking lot. And obviously a massive procession, and it's supposed to be coming to an end right about now, with most of the cars beginning to arrive in the church up in... Is that Lutz technically up there? Or?
It's in Lutz.
Yeah.
North Dale Mabry. Well north of the Bear segment.
Yeah. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with the family of fallen Deputy Hartwick, all his friends, his colleagues in law enforcement, and of course at the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. So it's a terrible, terrible story. Let's go to phones on this. Let's grab Michelle is in Lakeland. Michelle, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi, Michelle.
doing?
We're doing well. So how'd you fare?
We only had electric out. I also wanted to come give you the good news to 2 baby kittens that I had. They made it.
Oh, Michelle, that's
They
so...
made it through, and they're doing good. I have supplies here at my home. How can we get organized to get them down to where they are needed to?
There are multiple organizations, and we're also looking at putting trucks together to. Yeah, the issue is you have to coordinate. But here in the Tampa Bay area, if you call the American Red Cross, if you call the Salvation Army, those are two good.
We have a Salvation Army store here.
Right. So call the Salvation Army store and see where they are collecting items for Southwest Florida. So call your local Salvation Army, and they should be able to tell you where you can bring your items so they can be trucked down to Southwest Florida for hurricane relief, okay?
Because I even have dog food. I've got extra cat food.
Michelle, I'm sure they can use it all down there. So start with the Salvation Army just to get things rolling quickly, okay?
Okay, and I will also check with a children's home, which I'm only one block, because I also volunteer with them to see what they're doing, too, to help out. But I just want to let everybody know, thank you for being so strong for here in Florida. And thank you for you guys, too. I appreciate it.
Least we can do. Michelle, thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Let me grab Susan. Susan, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi, Susan.
Hey,
Welcome to the program. You're on.
thank you. I have plenty of clothes, shoes, stuff like that I can donate. If I heard what you were saying to Michelle about getting a hold of the Salvation Army and stuff like that, that's fine. I don't mind donating whatever. I just don't want these places to charge these people that's needing clothes and stuff money to when it's just being donated to them.
Also, it's going to take a little time to sort things out because some organizations might just be asking for cash donations because that's how they can most effectively help people. But again, it's just going to take a little bit of time to find out who's collecting what, who's collating everything, who wants what items, what's in need. And we're going to try to have a much better list for tomorrow morning's show on where you can donate. And, of course, we've been trying to get people to donate cash because that really is immediate, and that just is able to buy resources and new resources, feed people. And, again, the cash donations, we've been mentioning this all morning long and even all last week in the aftermath, is if you go to myq105.com/donate, that's myq105.com/donate, that link goes right to the American Red Cross. So our parent company, Beasley, is based in Naples, in Collier, just below Lee County. They had plenty of damage in Collier as well. And they've teamed up with the American Red Cross. And when you use our link, myq105.com/donate, you can donate a minimum of $10. Come on, you can afford $10. It goes directly to the American Red Cross. You'll see the American Red Cross donate page when you go to myq105.com/donate. And all of that money is earmarked for Southwest Florida. So it's not like it's going to the American Red Cross for use for disasters in Oregon or Washington or North Carolina. This is all for Southwest Florida. If you use our link, you're guaranteed that your donation is going right to hurricane relief where it's needed in Lee County and surrounding counties. That's myq105.com/donate, Michelle. Or I'm sorry, you're Susan. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll go in there and donate some money.
Thank you. And then call Goodwill, call Salvation Army, call Red Cross, and see if they're accepting donations specifically to go to Southwest Florida, okay? And we'll have much more information for all of our listeners tomorrow morning.
All right, I will be listening in the morning. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Susan. Appreciate it. Look at the time. I had no idea we were out of time today. I got to save all this stuff. A lot of things just got put on hold and put aside because we were in just wall-to-wall coverage last week.
We had a whole week of shows.
We did.
In our traditional kind of jokey style. which we put on hold last week, obviously.
Is that what you call us? Our kind of jokey style? Is that it?
That is
The tagline.
Is that the description? The MJ Morning Show, kind of jokey style.
That's exactly how I describe
that's
the
it.
show.
That's the
Kind
show.
Kind
of
of a
jokey.
laughy, jokey style.
Listen,
It's like Laffy Taffy radio.
let's not compare this to Laffy Taffy. That's really good. I really like Laffy Taffy.
I like the banana and the vanilla Laffy Taffy. It's my favorite. Some of the other headlines. Naples man swims through storm surge to rescue a stranded mother.
It's amazing.
I mean, all of these stories, it's just story after story. And remember, there are a couple of disturbances still out there. There are a couple of disturbances that could form into new storms in the Southern Caribbean, and the propensity is this time of the year for them to hook into the Gulf. So we're not off the hook. There's still stuff out there. Parts of Sarasota County still unsafe, according to officials down there. The animals they're getting rescued, horses and goats and all kinds of animals are trapped in Venice and Northport with some of the flooding down there. Marco Rubio says that Fort Myers Beach no longer exists. It's going to be years before it's rebuilt. That is just unbelievable. And the death toll, the last we saw was at 83. And, of course, last week we had the Lee County Sheriff said that he knows that fatalities are in the hundreds. So how long is it going to take to find all the victims? I mean, they're still rescuing people that have been cut off.
I mean, they're going through houses one by one where they think that people have evacuated, but they don't know.
And then we have, the insurance market. What is going to happen? We're already in a crisis with so many Floridians having to deal with the insurance of last resort. Citizens, which, hey, try dealing with Citizens. That thing's a disaster itself. So this is going to potentially cause a whole new rash of cancellations from insurance companies and put Florida homeowners in a greater bind by losing their insurance, because this is going to be one of the costliest storms. They say that this storm could put insurance companies out of business.
Like Allstate?
They're not going anywhere, but some of the smaller insurance companies might be put out of business. So, all right, folks, we got to wrap it up here. Just been another busy day here on the MJ Morning Show. Think of any final words?